All right, it is August 6th, 2025. This year is going by so crazy fast, folks. Yes, and I am setting up for DREAGUS Productions Wednesday night show, starting out with, that's right, the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show pre-show. We'll get everybody up and rolling here in a little bit. Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show pre-show. Pre-show, that's right. Always do a pre-show before you do the show, especially when you get the streams together. Want to make sure everything works out just right. Veterans Radio, Lotness, appreciate you in the kick chat. Give me a sec. Daniel Trika, also in the kick chat. Appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals out there. No matter what platform you are on, we appreciate you. And always like it when you come in and support us. We do try to go back. I do try to go back and support every one of the folks who try to support us. So while I get everything set up, I'm going to do this real quick. Give shout outs over there in the chat itself. There we go. Looks like everything's up and rolling. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. Okay. Looking good, looking good. I'll be calling censorship up here. John and the crew. See what we got. See what he's got going. Sure, he's got some great current events for us. There we go. Let me try to do this. Join. I don't really like that. Oh, there we go. Let's call some folks in. Bullhorn Barry. Where did John go? Nope, there it is. Barry, where are you, Barry?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I got into this chat, so it's a plus, and
cool.
Everything started out really good tonight. No hassles or hooks, you know?
Yeah. So, dude, now your camera is like straight on you.
Yeah, I know. But I'm doing that. I'm doing that. What is it, Alfred Hitchcock from behind? Hold on, let me bring my pipe up,
exactly.
All right? Don't that look cool? All right.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm just letting you know in case you weren't aware of it.
No, I know about it. It's not like anybody hasn't seen me on cam on most of the platforms anyway. So I'm like, oh well, and I usually do it from this angle. I don't like to do the head-on face thing. I'm like, yeah. Oh well. Well, let me get this. Now that I got you connected up, and now we got to get Barry in. I did talk to Barry a couple days ago. Yeah. I was under the impression he was just like stopping the show completely.
Oh no.
No, it's just a Sunday show.
Yeah, exactly.
For now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, in time he'll probably want to come back.
Yeah. He's just got some stuff going on with his family, I guess.
Oh yeah, he told me about that, and that's not something I'd discuss over there. Yeah, he's waiting for an invite. I did try to connect him before, but he's
waiting for an.
He rejected it, or something happened. Let me try calling, getting him in there again. Barry. There it is. He was probably in another room.
There he is. Hey, Barry.
Barry.
How you guys doing, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Did you get my message waiting on the invite?
Yeah. But
did I get? Oh.
I got it, but you were already in the group, and I guess you were in another group. So
no,
it rejected you like 3 or 4 times.
Really? No, I just was in the main chat room there.
Oh yeah, well,
Oh.
Hold on, I'm trying to. I got a problem with the cord here, which I am going to fix right now.
Everybody...
Mic check.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Mic check.
Don't.
We're not echoing today, are we?
What?
No, you sound great, dude.
I'm not feeding back or anything, right?
No, you sound great.
Back.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. Let's go with that.
No. No.
Test. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Perfect if you're under the damn water. All right.
Mark doesn't like it, but I think you sound great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We should do a whole show like that.
No.
So we're gonna read
No.
from Gateway Pundit, and this is can you imagine?
No.
I tried acid today for the first time.
Person listening would be like, am I on acid, or is this show on acid? What is happening?
Blue brought these funny looking mushrooms, so I thought they were good to eat, so I just ate them before the show, and I'm fine now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show.
Don't. No.
Guys, like, oh, dude, that's a heavy show, man. I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, that's great if we're doing Warm-Up-Palooza, and you're doing the announcements for the bands and shit like that. But yeah, that would work. But what bands? No bands this year.
I come up with a good slogan if you want to go scoop poop for a living.
Yeah.
We scoop poop so you don't have to. What do you think, man?
Nice.
Yeah. I saw this whole car was just decorated with we scoop the poop kind of thing. But their slogan was really lame. And I was like, man, you need a strong slogan, something like we scoop the poop so you don't have to. Because then that resonates. It's like, yeah, I really don't like picking up my dog's poop, man, And plus my neighbor, he drops a dump
you
on my
make a,
yard every morning. So.
And you make a song out of it, like Shoop
An AI
from
song?
what was it? Who was those girls? Salt and Pepper.
It'd be like the ACDCs.
Shoop.
Instead of shoot to kill, it'll be scoop the poop.
Scoop,
Instead of shoot to kill.
Scoop the poop.
And then in the background, there's Thunderstruck going on. Speaking of Thunderstruck, I'm gonna get some liquid. I'll be right back.
Oh boy. Oh.
There I was.
Oh, it's hot, man. It needs to rain.
I want to let everybody know I bought this drink over at my favorite place to shop, Cheapo Depot, in honor of Trump. And seriously, this is the Trump drink. It's green apple and lime, sparkling, all natural, no sugar. What? It is called Doodles. I kid you not. And since Trump likes doodle, things, according to Wall Street Journal, so it's got some black and white doodles. Apparently, you're supposed to color it in with some kind of ink, which would not work well with the if the drink was cold and had condensation. So I don't understand that. But anyway, there that is right there for some ASMR for you guys.
Nice.
In honor of Trump, Doodles. Try it.
Oh.
Nothing like some carbonated water.
There we go. Some wind blowing in here.
That's right.
It's like, I don't know. It kind of got hot this afternoon, but it's like 90 maybe. It's been like 90 every day the last month.
I guess that's normal though.
What, 90?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean,
usually hotter than that, isn't it?
Here, no.
No?
90 is about as hot as it gets up here. But like, my forecast, 91, 90, 88, 87, 88, 85, 88, 87, 85. Like, just...
85, 88, 90, 90, 88, 87.
Yeah, right?
You're tripping me
But
out.
I've got rain in like all next week. Saturday to Friday, rain every day, which would be great. I'd love to see rain every day for a week.
All I know is I ran a bunch of errands today, which I can touch on that briefly if you'd like. But the chemtrails, man, it was a massive chemtrail haze. Yeah, this week was kind of crazy. I took a fishing bait, fishing scam bait. So I thought I owed some money to the Pike Pass because I rented a U-Haul, and so I just tried to do it online. I was going to pay it online, and they took my credit cards, but then I couldn't pay anything, so I figured it out. And then I went straight to the city, and they actually said that there's this scam at the top of the page. It says there's this scam going on saying that you owe toll. Don't do it. So I got scammed. So I had to cancel all my credit cards, and I got my last new card today. Mm-hmm. And then someone hacked my ex account and totally took it over, man.
By the way,
really?
Did you get in?
Mm-mm. Yes, I did.
Awesome, good. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, I couldn't even get in. They changed everything. My email, my password, and I mean, somebody just literally hacked my account completely and took it over.
Jeez. They posted a bunch of shit with Omo talking about Israel.
I was expecting something to happen, but I turned it in so quickly that I guess they suspended the activity on it. But yeah, no, I had a friend of mine that she told me that she had her Facebook hacked like that, and they were using her pictures and photos to like go do a GoFundMe to raise money for something.
Jeez.
Why? So everybody thought she was needing money, so they're giving her money. It wasn't really her. And the scams, man, the scamsters, they are so out and about, aren't they?
Telling you. And then they got the phishing ones out there too, where I'll pay you X amount of dollars if you upvote YouTube videos for me. I'm like, no. Or
they'll do what? pay you if you upvote?
pay you X amount of dollars for upvoting YouTube
Likes.
videos. Yep.
Yeah, dude. That's
Are those legit or not?
Yeah, they
Are any of those
once you
legit?
click it, they got your
No.
information. So
Oh yeah.
No, if you want to buy likes on YouTube or something, there's sites you can go do that,
Yeah.
and it's really cheap. It's like $5 for 1,000 likes.
really.
You know what I mean? So
Who
no one's
uses
gonna
that?
like, if anyone's offering you more than like a nickel to upload their entire portfolio, it's a scam, right?
Yeah, that's
So essentially, it's astroturfing when you do
Yeah.
that. You're trying to create this false image that doesn't exist, like your
Yeah.
YouTube page is popular.
Well, if you're a politician, you almost have to do it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, I've heard that like almost all these big time politicians and celebrities, half of them are bots. I've heard like half.
Yeah. If you're a politician, you're running for office, and you have 10 followers on Facebook, you're screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to have at least 1,000, for it to be even anybody look at that to take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
Or celebrity
But
too.
it is,
I mean,
it is kind of an astroturfing type thing, though, in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Sure.
I mean, I get there. I guess there's like some fine lines, like maybe that's probably okay to do, but then there's some things that like the government does that they shouldn't do, where they're totally misrepresenting themselves.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine
I
that worked.
it doesn't freak me out. I mean, because then they get a little head start, Who knows? But
Yeah.
again, at the end of the day, if their content sucks or if they don't have anything to offer, it's not going to go anywhere.
I had a friend of mine that was a developer. He was working for this business that did just that. Right? It sold likes and stuff for all different social media sites. And the guy was making like $5 million a month doing that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he got writ up in the he got a huge New York Times thing about him, as a scam, not as like a good thing, right? He got totally called out, and I don't know if he ever prosecuted him or what, but yeah.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, my buddy calls me one day. He's like, "Hey, check out this link." And it's like this whole New York Times hit piece on this company. I was like, "Okay, good thing you're just an independent contractor working at arm's length from this guy."
Yeah. Found another chat GPT alternative today, Z.ai. Supposedly it's like the top 3 for benchmarks, and it's like really close, like to between 1 and 2 and 3, it's like almost, and it's like all free. Like there's right now, I mean, you can use it limitless in every way, everything that it offers. So I'm going to be using that for a while, Z.ai.
Mm-hmm. Aren't a lot of those just all built on like 3 different models?
I would think so.
You know what I mean? Like there's
I would think
ChatGPT, there's Grok, and then there's like the Microsoft one, and like almost everything out there is built off of those in one way or another.
Yeah, because the way that it works, it's the same type of model for sure. Like it goes through that whole thinking process. Oh, it asked me this and so that, and so it thinks, and before it actually gives an answer. But so I think the model, whether it's the exact one or not, it's the same thing more or less. But there are new models that come out that are doing the thinking process differently, is what I've heard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more effective and faster, and can be done like on a regular, home computer. Mm-hmm. So where do we go with this stuff? I mean, I think eventually, which is the good news, is that there'll be open AI for your computer, and they'll get it down to where if you have a decent enough computer, you can do it all on your own computer. We're really only going to be limited by your storage at that point, because they're getting faster and faster. All the processors and the hard drives, and I think it'll eventually become affordable for everyone, which will take the power away from all these cloud ones that want to charge you. And one of the reasons I have not done any paid ones yet. Well, I did do in video for a couple of months, but I don't do it is because I want an all-in-one solution. I'm going to pay, because otherwise I'm going to have to pay for, like, 6 different AI tools and that's how much is that? That's, a couple $100 a month right there. Who has $200 just to throw to the wind? And I think that they need to have models like where you just pay, per your generation, whatever you're doing. And they make it, just like almost the same price would be if you had a monthly or a yearly. They're like set in stone. It's got to be monthly or yearly. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody's going to use it that much. Maybe you only use it once every 6 months because maybe you have a video project that you do once every 6 months. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. It just seems like you would spend all this money if you really wanted to do it all. Because I want to have AI agents. I want to be able to do photos, images, video, all of that stuff, marketing. And I don't know that there's one that's like all in one. So maybe whoever gets that first, they're the ones that will really, like, kick butt.
Yeah.
And again, I may not even know what I'm saying. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
It seems like that like, and even when it comes to generative video and stuff, like each site has its strong points. So if you want to get all the strong points, you have to get and become a member of all of them, subscribe to all of them. Like one may be really good with visual effects, with video. Maybe one is good with just generating video that looks like real. So, or maybe one is fast and the other one's slow. Whatever. It's just like Kling is good. I know. Like, what's some of the other video ones that are pretty good? Leonardo. Can't think of all the different ones.
I don't know. I don't do the video stuff.
You should. It's fun, man. You can take still images that you've made, and then you can just take that still image and put motion to that video.
Yeah, I've done it a few times, and then what I'll do is I'll turn it into a GIF file and use it for on the my emotes for like what is it? Kick, Twitch, and places like that allow motion emotes.
You can do first frame and last frame too, and then you can, if you do that, then you can actually make it a loop. Like have the first frame be the last frame again, so that whatever the video is, it's a perfect loop.
Well, when I'll take it and put it into another platform that when I do the from the MP4 to the GIF.
Dang, I didn't realize your pipe went down that low, man.
Oh yeah, I like long stem pipe.
You look like if you had the hair, man, you could pass as Gandalf.
No.
That's a Gandalf pipe right there.
No.
Need a lot more hair, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more hair.
But we could do it. We could get a wig, and
right.
He's got that Gandalf pipe.
No.
Gandalf has more hair on his chin than Mark does on his whole head.
Yeah.
Now.
I got more hair on my ass than Gandalf has on his head. All right.
Yeah. And your back too. Don't forget.
I mean, just Gandalf has a lot of hair, dude. His beard goes down to his nuts.
Well.
I mean,
it's pretty. He steps on it when he walks, basically.
Yeah, right.
I had to create a flap on the back.
I just never realized that the pipe was long, dude. That thing is like, I mean, goes down to your navel.
It's sophisticated, dude.
Actually, this pipe is. Let's see, it's 15 inches long. No, I got.
That's a big pipe.
No, I have this pipe too.
Take that in your pipe and smoke it, huh?
But I don't like smoking it very often because the bowl and the stem gets cherry red when I smoke. You know.
Mm-hmm. And like my father always said, it's either cherry red or midnight blue.
Okay.
The song, man. Come on, Midnight Blue by Lou Gramm.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's
You
where
guys,
I was going.
I told you everything was a song. Told you everything
It's a song.
was a song.
It's a song.
Like my father used to say, it's either cherry red or midnight blue. See, I like that though, because that's like he's got a positive attitude. I like that because cherry red's good, midnight blue's good, you know. So we're good.
But you know, some days never come.
Now, if you're Richie from Boston, man, it's the end of the world, man. It's all doom and gloom. I'm telling you, man. Trump's getting ready to die in August. He said that today. It was, oh man, I was just like, dude, please stop.
Really?
Well, you know what it is supposedly somebody found another Simpsons video, okay? And Trump dies on August the 12th or something like that. This is like an exact date. And so everybody now believes that, you know, somehow the Simpsons is predicting everything. But I'm going to tell you right now, Trump's going to be alive on and after August 12th. So just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, that guy, and he said the dollar would collapse. I mean, and all these people that are like that, the doom and gloom, they're all anti-Trumpers. I think Candace Owens is kind of going down that road. I'm not saying she's not a full-blown cynic or a full-blown doom and gloomer, but she's kind of headed in that way because she just thinks everything is just like terrible, you know. And the Jews did everything, man. It's all the Jews' fault.
Shoes.
Anyway, I mean, you know, the Macron thing, that's kind of funny. I got to give her that much. You know, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but she makes some really good points.
Roger says that's his brother's birthday. Oh, my God. Guess what? My sister's birthday is 9/11. Ha! Got you beat there, buddy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you do, man.
I knew that day was a bad day. Anyways. Oh, it's time to start the that part up. Okay.
Nice.
Here we go. And
I figured out what I'm going to do with that drink. I'm going to add a lime to it. I picked up 22 limes for 99 cents at the Mexican grocery store yesterday. 22 for 99 cents.
The hell are you going to do with 22 limes?
he's going to make he's going to make
and then I
like
water and stuff throughout the day.
He's going to make 3 gallons of cherry limeade and set a Kool-Aid stand outside until the city says, "Oh, you didn't pay your little fee to have a little thing out front of your house," you know, because city ordinance says you can't have a stand without getting your little permit.
That's it.
You know how it goes.
Well, I mean, at our flea market and during the shamdemic, they literally tried to shut it down completely, but the owner fought back. But it's like 1/3 of what it was. Now anybody that sets up out there, and this is, I mean, this flea market for, I don't know, 40 years, maybe 50 years. It's a landmark for Tulsa. I mean, people used to come from all the surrounding states because it was huge. It's not big anymore, but now everybody has to have not a driver's license, a business license and a tax ID just to set up.
Yeah.
Just to set up. Doesn't matter if you set up once or 1,000 times. Like, I couldn't go there and just set it up just once just to, like, get rid of some stuff. Nah. I have to go down to the city, get a business license and a tax ID. I mean, for what? Flea market? Most of those people are retired people that are, you know, living off their Social Security, don't have any money, and they want to tax these people. It's ridiculous, man. They didn't tax them for 40 years, and then all of a sudden they've had a change of heart. But that happened during the Biden administration, by the way, which notice that when, like I said, man, the tyrants came out from everywhere when he was the president.
Okay, in about
I don't
another
think we've
minute,
shaken
we'll
it off
switch
yet.
rooms, and if not, we'll come right back to this one, all right?
Fine. They're really all the same rooms if you think about it.
Well, kind of.
The room isn't any different.
Actually, they have a different call number, assigned to them.
But I mean, as far as like CS and I are concerned, the room looks exactly the same.
Yeah, for
So
you
essentially,
guys, yeah.
it's the same.
But
Yeah.
when it like ends and crap like that, I'm like, oh crap! There you go. See my Godzilla poster? I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good song, Godzilla. Remember that song back in the day? Was that is that 80s? That's 80s, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or is that 70s?
late 70s, early 80s. Blue Oyster Cult did that right before.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I'll see you in the next call. Crap. 1, 2, 3. All right. While I try to reconnect them with this program, we'll see if we can take and get what we need to get. There we go. It's connecting. Nope, did not connect. Oh well. Well, we'll just do what we always do. And get it going this way. Hey, John. Yeah, it blocked me again from going into that other room, but oh well. You there? Hello, hello, hello. Barry, you there?
I am.
Oh, it did not. It did not reset the timer. Hold on. Everybody has to leave. Oh, crap. Join. Let's see. Was it gonna... Nope. End call. End meeting. Damn you. Damn you, damn you. People. Yes. Here we go. All right, you there?
I am here.
Okay.
As is Barry.
30 seconds.
Are we reset?
Yes, 30 seconds, and I will get you going. Yeah, I had... yeah. 3, 2, 1,
What?
and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for August 6, 2025. Tonight, I've got with me Bullhorn Barry in the hot seat. How you doing, Barry?
Hey man, good. Did I tell you I saw it's a no Kings protest in Tulsa, and there was a guy on a bullhorn, and this is how he was sounding. We can have no kings, man, no kings. And I thought that's no way to utilize your bullhorn.
Yeah. You got to get in there, man. You got
he
the
had
bullhorn,
no
you got the audience.
passion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Dude. I mean, he sounded like he was, a spokesperson for NPR.
You might have been. You might have been. So speaking of kings, did you see the king the other day? Donald J. Trump walking around on the roof of the White House. He took questions from the press up there. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah.
Now, imagine if Joe Biden was spotted walking around on the roof up there.
They would think he was lost.
Shuffling around up there, huh? Where's he? Where's he, kid?
He doesn't fall.
Oh
right?
no, he might jump.
I left my car here somewhere, I think. Where's my car?
Well, you know, he's notorious for saying, don't jump, remember?
Yeah, right?
So is he going to tell himself not go to the edge and go, don't jump? I mean,
Right.
he's just that weird, right?
Yeah, I just found it funny. I mean, it's just such a Donald Trump thing to be like up on the roof of the White House, walking around touring the construction that's going on or whatever he's doing.
It's weird. It's weird, but cool at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the juxtaposition, if that was Biden up there, everyone would have been like, dude, get down. What's he doing up there?
They would literally be saying don't jump because they would think he was suicidal. Because there'd be no reason for him to be, for any reason whatsoever, because he's just way too fragile.
Yeah, exactly.
And didn't they Trump when he was waving to people and freeze frame it like he was doing the Heil Hitler thing again? I mean, they're so stuck on the Nazi thing right after the Sydney squeeze. They want to run with it some more.
Oh yeah, they'll do anything to take it out of context to make him look as bad as possible. It's just the press. It's what they do, you know.
Sure.
It's just what they do. So, anyway, while we're in Washington D.C., Big Balls. We all remember Big Balls from Doge, right?
We do.
He got jumped the other night. I think it was Saturday night. Well, let's call it Sunday morning. His girlfriend was getting into her car. 10 people start surrounding them. He tells her to get in, shuts the door, and proceeds to just take a serious beating from 10 different people. 2 of whom were caught and arrested. They were like 14 and 15. So young kids running around in these little gangs, carjacking in this instance, mugging, whatever it was going to turn out to be. But, you know, right downtown Washington, D.C., this guy, I'm sure, has plenty of cash. As young as he is, he's probably got enough money to live anywhere he wants to in that city. So I doubt he was in a very tough neighborhood, per se. And yet it happened. Now, Trump is considering taking over the management of the District of Columbia because of this, because the crime is getting so out of hand there that it's just not safe. And I mean, if it comes to that, I've got no problem with it. I mean, the people that run that city are morons, shown time and time again.
What would that entail? You know, how would that go about? Because I think most people have no idea.
Well, I don't pretend to be an expert on that per se, but it would just, you know, I mean, this is the District of Columbia. It's the capital of the United States. It's where it is for a reason. It can't be in any individual state or city to, you know, give that state an unfair advantage. So it's got its own district. And it's run by, you know, mayor that's elected and a city council and all that are elected. But at the end of the day, it's the territory of the federal government. And they can just go into Congress and vote on things and make it happen. I've seen several times in the past where they've voted down legislation that D.C. wanted to implement, and Congress just came in and said, no, you know, we vote against that. You can't do that. So they have sort of an ultimate, you know, level of management over everything. But for the most part, they just give it up to the city elected officials, right?
They don't have to deal with it, but if they have to, they can. Right.
Yeah, but if no one's dealing with it and it's just going to hell, then yeah, you know, it's time to step in and maybe do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, that poor guy, man. I think that all those people that got caught, the 2 that get caught, and if they find more, they should be tried as adults. You know, just that simple. And you're literally beating someone to a pulp to basically almost death, right? Mm-hmm. You should be tried as an adult.
Yeah, you're playing adult games. at the very least, there's juvenile detention for a reason, right? I mean, there are prisons for kids. It's called juvenile detention, right? Juvie. So, you go in there till you're 18, and then we figure out what to do with you afterwards, right? And more than likely, it's just going to be, we let you loose. You go out again and commit something else in, the first month of your 18th year, and then you end up going to the real jail.
Yeah.
The grown-up jail. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dangerous world, and that's kind of my point. The rule of law is going to be a little bit stricter than normal right now, because otherwise there's no fear in these people that do evil and do violent crime. They have no fear of anything.
Yeah, especially when they think they have that cloak of being a juvenile there to protect them.
Exactly.
We've seen it time and time again where all these gangs will use underage kids to, actually do the smuggling and the running of the drugs and whatnot, because if they get caught with it, then it's a slap on the wrist versus, if there's actual gang members who are 20, 25, whatever, are caught with that much cocaine, they're going to jail for a long, long time, especially those priors and whatnot, so it sucks. No one really wants to do that to kids, but at the same time, if you're letting your kids run rampant through the city and you have no control over them and they're just out there doing whatever they want, whenever they want, and most of it's illegal, you got to have ramifications for that. If the parents aren't going to do it, then the state has to come in and do it for them.
Yeah.
Put a little,
I think all should have where everybody's rehabilitated. You don't get out unless you do courses, how to adapt to, coming back to society. And they should be given skills. A lot of people don't like that, but these people will repeat otherwise if they don't. So you do have to show some mercy and compassion to these people, because that's the best policy that works for everybody across the board at the end of the day.
Yeah. A lot of people go into jail and they meet all the wrong people. They learn all the wrong stuff, and they come out there even more highly trained and skilled criminals than they went in.
And angry with a chip on their shoulder now.
And so, if you could give them in a position where, hey, you learn how to work on cars or whatever it be, you come out of there with some sort of a profession that you can walk into and make a decent living at it. I mean, and a lot of these things, when's the last time you had your car worked on? Mechanics aren't cheap.
Right. That's exactly right.
Plumbers aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Electricians, you name it. All these jobs that people look down on because they don't require college educations, they're charging $100 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Last time I got my sink fixed, $450.
The guy was there probably half a day.
Yeah, and not even that long, but yeah. And all I did was
he probably went out and did another $300 job right after he was done with yours, and that was his day. So he made $750 that day. Short, expenses, gas, whatever else, parts,
Yeah.
But,
and a lot of toilets get clogged up, so start your own plumbing business and roto-rooter. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. But it's looked down on for some reason. But there's a lot of skilled jobs out there that take an apprenticeship and whatnot. And once you get through the process and you understand what you're doing, working on air conditioning and heating units is another big one that makes bank. So teach these guys how to do those types of careers while they're in jail. Give them a chance to come out of there and actually work for a living and do good work and get paid for it.
Because guess what? If they don't, then they go back to selling drugs.
And
they go, I tried, but nobody would hire me, so now I'm selling drugs, So that's, the whole system is flawed from top to bottom. We're not trying to actually stop crime. That's the problem.
Yeah, but if you can go in and, come right out of prison, go into a mechanic shop and be able to swap out a transmission in half a day or whatever, then you're hired. You're good. As long as you don't, come into the work with an attitude and trying to fight people and stuff like that, you're fine. You'll have a career. Just got to lose that chip on the shoulder. But again, if it wasn't so rapey in prison, you might not have that chip. You know,
That's true too.
I mean, that's the other thing too. Like you committed a crime, you do the time, but then all of a sudden it involves rape. Like, how did that get thrown in the mix?
Did you see where your boy Nigel Farage is entertaining the idea of having biological men who think they're women in women's prisons? He's now entertaining
Nigel
that idea.
Farage is
So,
doing that?
yes, yeah. I mean, it's amazing how when somebody gets a little bit of, power, they begin to fall, right? Because not everybody's got a backbone like we've talked before. I hope he's got backbone because that's not a good policy.
No, I don't think so either. And I noticed Tommy Robinson the other day came out and said he could not support reform. He would not be in any way getting behind reform at all. He doesn't trust Nigel Farage, and Nigel Farage doesn't like Tommy Robinson very much. But that's because the press over there is just so oppressive of him. I mean, they will do anything to make Tommy Robinson look bad because Tommy Robinson was the one guy over there screaming out bloody murder over the little guys, the girls, the rape gangs, bringing all this stuff to the attention of the media and people all around the world. And they hate him for it.
You can say whatever you want about him, like call him every name in the book, but he did something that no one else would do, and that is try to protect our children. And that is a noble cause that no one else seems to be taking up, except for maybe Tim Tebow, which he did a 3-hour interview I heard on the Sean Ryan show that was just, oh man, it was just gut-wrenching. I got to check it out. I heard it was amazing. That he dropped so many facts that even people like you and I aren't even aware of, like how bad the trafficking is. It's just in America, not in other countries, but in America. So I will be checking out that stellar interview.
Yeah. So speaking of Tommy Robinson, he was arrested over the weekend for an altercation that he had in a subway station, if I'm not mistaken, or a train station, where a very large dude, 6'4" or so, was getting in his face. He was intoxicated, yelling at Tommy, getting in his face, not leaving him alone. And so Tommy finally had enough and laid him flat. And they arrested him over that. Then the video came out. They arrested him before they even saw the CCTV, footage. Once they saw that, they dropped the charges and said, okay, you're not there. But the very next day, they arrested Tommy Robinson again for internet posts that he made. Right?
They're not going to let this guy go, man. They're not going to leave him alone. But he's not going to stop fighting either. That's what's the scary thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he will never relent. And we know what happens when they can't stop somebody. And they can't, use character assassination to destroy them, because that's not working either. We know what comes after that. Tucker Carlson talked about it with Trump, right? That what comes next is bad. And then it did. Exactly what he was saying was going to came. And it came in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Exactly. And it wasn't hard to see that coming. It really wasn't. We kept saying, what's next? What's next? Well, what's next? What's the next thing you can do to somebody if all the lawfare didn't work? You just kill the guy. And so they tried it twice that we know of. But yeah, one of these posts that he got arrested over was he just reposted something from a major news article, from a major news publisher in the UK. He just retweeted it. And it had to do with a story that we covered a while back about how there was a school in East London that had no native British-speaking students in it. And they found that arrest-worthy. I mean, we covered it on the show. We covered that. I never thought twice about it being illegal to cover something like that. It's just a fact how fast England is changing.
Yep. I mean, I just look for all the places where the globalists have a foothold for those to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Until they collapse, and then they're forced to either bring in full-blown tyranny or course correct. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that'll be like 50-50. Maybe some will course correct, and maybe some will just go full-blown tyranny.
And it was funny. I was watching him talking with Ezra Levant today. And one of the conversations that Tommy had with the police was Okay, so have you ever heard of a Cockney before? Somebody from England that's Cockney.
It's
It's
like they have a
people.
strange accent, a
Yeah,
hard
it's like
accent.
they have their own accent. It's a Cockney accent. It's an East London thing, right?
Right.
And it refers to people who are from that part of London, Cockney.
Yeah.
And the cop was saying, "Do you not think that these girls are Cockneys?" Right? And he's like, "Well, no, they're Somalian or whatever they are. They're not like native Cockney. Well, they were born here, weren't they? Yeah, but that doesn't make them a Cockney." It was just a really funny the way they went back and forth on it. I was laughing my butt off because it was just hysterical.
Right. Hey, everybody's got their own like thought process these days, and we're generally like there's polar opposites like all the time, man. It's just like the norm now.
Mhm.
Usually people used to be in the times past that if you had disagreements, it was a little bit to one direction or a little bit the other direction. But now, if there's a disagreement, you're either way out there or you're way over there. It's just weird, man.
Yeah, it's it's the divide and conquer thing that's being politically placed strategically into society, where they break America into two groups. We get our own news, we get our own realities, we get our own truths, we get everything unique to the side of the aisle that you happen to fall on. All your news,
Good,
you know?
good point.
And so Americans wake up and they look at the same thing and they see two desperately different situations. The great example would be what's going on in Texas right now, you know, with the redistricting that they're trying to do.
Yep.
I remember when Oregon tried to do this a number of years back, a bunch of Republicans tried to flee the state so that they couldn't get a quorum. And they arrested them and brought them in and, the whole 9 yards and threw the book at them. And no one on the left had a bit of a problem with that. No one on the left had any problem in it when California redistricted to their advantage, when Illinois did it to their advantage. New York redistricted in such a way that it's completely like 2 Republican seats in the whole state. Now Texas is saying, hey, you guys are all doing it, we're going to do it too. We talked about how it'll give the Republicans 5 additional seats in the House, and they're flipping out. Everyone out there is just freaking out about it, but it's just what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But on the other side of the coin, they're not seeing it that way. You know what I mean? They just don't see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing about the left is they're constantly and continually lying. It was Stephen Colbert who had on Governor J.B. Pritzker, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a liberal, and he was talking about, how evil this plan to redistrict in Texas was, and he said and Stephen said, well, Democrats do that too, and he goes, yes, but here's the difference. Usually that's done at the end of every decade, but they're doing it mid-decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just did a little bit of research, and it turns out that the left has done it midway many times. Democrats, Texas legislature in the early 1990s and drew the maps after the 1990 census, like you were talking about. But then later they made mid-decade adjustments to maintain their political edge. They've done that in California. Willie Brown did it. Let's see, in the 2010s, Democrats redrew Maryland's maps mid-decade to unseat a Republican congressman, Roscoe Bartlett, a blatant partisan move. So they tell you that, this is just the right being partisan. No, the Democrats do it, and they do it worse than the Republicans. And from my understanding, it's not illegal. It may be kind of sketchy, but both sides do it, and both sides do it midway.
Yeah, whatever works, man. If you've got the majority and you want to do it, you can do it. That's how it works, There's no set date that you can only do it on this, the years that end in 2 or whatever. It's here's Caitlin Collins talking to Brian Harrison on the subject on CNN. It's just spinning. Why is it spinning? Let me refresh the page. And let's try it again. Oh, they don't like this. I think they got rid of it. Okay, he's got a there's text here from it. So he says the amount of time CNN must have spent fact checking what I said earlier today to come up with those clips. But if those are the best clips you can find, then my point stands, and I was proven correct because at no point was he asked to justify those maps. The Democrats, my Democratic colleagues that fled the state to go hide behind Governor Pritzker, they're not mad that states are engaging in redistricting to maximize partisan political advantage. What they're mad about, but they won't say, is that they're mad that a Republican state is stepping up and doing it. That's the real problem. So, purely partisan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Dem governor of Oregon sent the state police after Republicans who fled to deny Dems a quorum. Now they're crying fascism. You know?
Yeah. Well, whatever they accuse the Republicans of doing, they've done too, and they've done worse than anybody. They're the greatest violators of all the things that they say that we're doing. And many times we're not doing them at all, and it's just them doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Projection. We've talked so many times about how Saul Alinsky, in his book, says to freeze the enemy, freeze them in place, and then accuse them of what you're doing.
Right.
Accuse them of what you're doing, which is
time and time
again. Yeah. The whole, Russia collusion thing was them accusing Donald Trump of what they in fact were doing, knowingly.
Yeah, for a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we know, and it's coming out in the open.
Being upset about that now that that's been disclosed,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't see him upset about that, massive coup and attempted treason. I mean, I don't see him upset about that.
Oh, they're calling it fake. Scarborough's out there saying it's not real and it's just made up, and we haven't seen any evidence that this is anything other than just made up stuff from the Trump administration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was talking the other day about how we just keep going on and on about the Russian collusion delusion. Well, yeah, because they tried to basically prevent Trump from being the president unlawfully, and they basically committed treason. They tried to go against the will of the people.
Yeah. And, again, they didn't control Donald Trump, which is what the problem was. If they had the dirt on him, if they had a way to control him, it wouldn't be a big deal. But they didn't. They never had that on him. He's the most researched guy in the planet of all time. No one has been looked into more than Donald Trump when it comes to absolutely anything wrong that he might have done in his career. And they just don't have it. He slept with some models. He slept with the hooker. Stormy Daniels, he tried to pay her off to not talk. But everybody in Washington does that. Heck, Congress has a fund dedicated to paying off people with our taxpayer dollars. He used his own money. In Congress, they just go to the, whoever's in charge and say, hey, I need $50,000 for this person, so they shut up. But anyway, folks, we've got to take a break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back right after these messages.
All right, we're on radio break.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Barry, you like that video I sent you?
Barry took a nap. He'll be back in a sec.
I just want to say, man, I don't know what it is. I'm giving my absolute best, man, but it seems like my brain is just not functioning at top level right now.
I know. I'm feeling the same way.
I'm doing my absolute best. It's just like I feel slow. I feel like my brain is not working properly. Anyway, maybe it's those dadgum chemtrails today.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping outside with Blue under the stars the last couple nights, and it's wonderful, but I don't get a really good night's sleep.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It cools down a little bit at night.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful at night.
Like in the 60s?
Yeah, 50s, 60s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma stays muggy, That's
yeah. We have no humidity, so.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of mugginess here, too.
Swamplands.
Yeah, like I say, like 90 isn't that bad, but it's because it's dry. It's like 20% humidity. So it's not that bad. But 90 with 100% humidity, forget it.
Mm. Man, that's good. Boulder Canyon thin and crispy jalapeno potato chips with avocado oil.
Wow.
Non-GMO and super salty. I like that.
What's the main ingredient? Is it potato?
Salt.
It is. If you can believe that. It cracks me up when you buy something, you buy some jelly, and the first ingredient is sugar above the grapes. You're like, what?
Yeah, like how is it even like blue?
Good point.
So did you see that video I sent you? I mean, I know you did, but you liked that?
Oh yeah,
Cracked up, dude.
That's why I told you back. I said, yeah, maybe you were onto something that night.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh God, I have to share this with Barry. This is like so like apropos to what we were just talking about.
And she was just laughing the whole time, man. She could hardly like get control of herself, and she was like, "I think this is reverse sexism." She said. Anyway, that was funny. Yeah. And it was even funnier after what you said. So.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
But I wish I hadn't seen that guy, though, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I think like men should not get fake pecs. I really do, man. It just, I don't know. Okay, remember that guy? Everything about him is pretty much fake. And he's had, I don't know how many surgeries, like maybe 50 or 100 surgeries. And he's starting to look like a mannequin. I mean, he's, I don't know his name, but
the Ken doll guy?
It's, huh? Yeah,
Ken doll guy? Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then they keep getting more. I think, and this is just my assumption, I think that's making them attractive. They don't really know that the majority of people are like, oh my gosh, man, what have you done to yourself?
You guys
kind of
got
like
30
Jackson,
seconds.
People like, what did you do to yourself, man? First couple surgeries like Jackson did wasn't bad, but then he just kept getting them.
Mm-hmm. Turned into a freak.
I hate to say that, but kind of, yeah. Freaky looking, at least.
All right, here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition, where I hang out with Bullhorn Barry here, and we go through all the news that's, we're talking about, interesting stuff, all that good stuff, right, Barry?
Mm-hmm. All kinds of interesting stuff, man. It's an interesting time, interesting world, exciting, I guess. It's not boring, that's for certain.
No, it isn't. And let's see here. There's a couple big announcements that came out this week. Nancy Mace is going to be running for the governor of South Carolina, and Marsha Blackburn is running for the governor of Tennessee.
Right.
So two interesting people that we wouldn't want to lose from the House, but at the same time, they'd make great governors.
And if they win, there's that paradigm shift, just taking the next step, I think that even though Trump has kind of lost some ground with maybe independents, I mean, they're still going to choose Republicans over Democrats, even if they're not perfectly pleased, right?
Yeah. And, again, you've got two really good people here. Marsha Blackburn and Nancy Mace are both really good at what they do. I mean, they would make great governors. Look at Huckabee, She's just killing it as Arkansas's governor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a slingshot to the presidency if you really want it, I'd vote for her in a heartbeat.
There's Democrats voting for Republicans, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because they just go up. I'm a Democrat at heart, but these people that are running, they're not what I would call a Democrat, because everything about the Democrats is just, taking away from it's making people poorer. Things are not done with right attention of detail. I mean, people can see through what's going on with Gavin Newsom, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like we told everybody that those people weren't going to rebuild their houses, and they called us conspiracy theorists. And it turns out that's exactly what happened. And we said, don't give any money to the celebtards when they're begging for money, because none of that money is going to get to the people that actually need it. And that turns out to be true as well. I mean, look, it's just a matter of knowing, the pulse of America and the pulse of the Democrats. Okay, this is in the establishment. There's rhinos that are bad too. I'm certainly not excluding those people, but we just have to know who's corrupt and who's not.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, like we've covered a few times at a couple different, choke points in the past, how many permits they've given out to rebuild in Palisades and Altadena.
Eight total last time I checked.
8.
Yep.
And 6,000 structures burned. And they've got 8 permits so far. I mean, let's be generous and say you're way off, Barry. It's 30. Okay. You're off by a factor of 5, buddy. It's 30 permits.
Yeah.
Still ridiculous. Yeah. It's still a complete total failure. It should be 3,000 now. It should be.
So if you're a Democrat and you see what the Democrats are doing to destroy everything, and you see Republican who you don't agree with all of their policies, maybe their moral stances on different things, but you go, but at least they're not going to destroy us. I mean, that's what a Democrat's probably thinking. I'm going to vote for this guy, even though I really don't want to, but I am. Yeah. Because the other option is just so bad that I have to do this. But don't tell anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, you might not agree on abortion and what should or shouldn't be the highest tax rate, but at the end of the day, they're going to put cops on the beat, and your streets are going to be safer.
Yes.
And your schools aren't going to be insane. Your girls will have a chance to grow up without being accosted in the bathroom every time they have to pee.
Yep.
Or share a locker room with a boy who's fully intact, butt naked in the girls' bathroom. Or changing room, and I won't even get to that. But you look at RFK Jr. is a good example, as is Tulsi Gabbard, of 2 Democrats that are in the administration that are doing great things.
Absolutely,
and they should be praised. You can't look at somebody who left your party and say, "Oh, I hate them now. I hate them." He's a lifelong Democrat with the last name of Kennedy. And now you hate the guy with all your heart and soul, every ounce of your fiber. You just hate the guy for what again?
Yeah, I hear from Democrats a lot about RFK Jr. because, they do recognize that he's a Democrat. And they go, well, that's not why I don't like him. He's a conspiracy theorist. And yet he's probably one of the people that, everything that he says he backs up with a scientific peer review study. And then if he writes a book or he does a documentary, there's footnotes. I never saw Fauci giving us any footnotes as to why we should wear the mask, or any footnotes or peer review studies as to why we should take an experimental vaccine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, these guys are, look, let's be honest. Most people believe that Fauci's a scientific hack. Science hack.
He's an evil man. I mean, of all the people that need to go down, he's right at the top of the list.
The guy that did the PCR test, who mysteriously died 2 weeks before the COVID hit, I think it was from pneumonia, he said that you can't, that Fauci was basically a nut job, and he was challenging Fauci to do a debate on like CBS, ABC, or NBC, one of those main, mainstream channels. And he turned him down every time because he would have ripped him apart, because that guy was a real scientist. Whereas Fauci, in the opinion of most people, he's a hack, man. Just like a political hack, except for he's a science hack.
Exactly. Trust the science makes no sense. Trust the science is the opposite of science. Science is supposed to be questioned. You never trust the science. If you do trust the science, you are not a scientist. You're a journalist, or you're a politician or something, but you're not a scientist. The number one rule in science is test it, question it, prove it, and once it's proven beyond any doubt and everybody has a consensus on it, then maybe you can start believing it. But we were nowhere near that with any of this stuff. He put out a tweet the other day, RFK Jr. Quote, "We reviewed the science, listened to the experts, and acted. BARDA is terminating 22 mRNA vaccine development investments because the data shows these vaccines fail to protect effectively against upper respiratory infections like COVID and flu. We're shifting funding towards safer, broader vaccine platforms that remain effective even as viruses mutate." He further explained that the mRNA only codes for a small part of the viral proteins, usually a single antigen. One mutation and the vaccine becomes ineffective. In layman's terms, he said that means that vaccines paradoxically encourage new mutations and can actually prolong pandemics as the virus constantly mutates to escape the protective effects of the vaccine. The same risk applies to the flu. Therefore, he said, after reviewing the science and consulting top experts at NIH and FDA, HHS has determined that mRNA technology poses more risk than benefits for those respiratory viruses. He's terminating 22 mRNA contacts, totaling under 500 million.
That's a big win, man. I think there's like 22 new mRNA vaccines that they were working on. He just shut them down, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shut them down. And that's good, man, because I don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been proven to be effective. And until they can be proven to be effective and to be safe, I don't think they should be on the market. And he knows more about it than obviously you or I do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, you know, they say...
He's won twice in court, right? And they say, well, what you're saying is a conspiracy theory. And he says, well, I've won in court over that. So what I won. And, they challenged me on it, and I gave them the evidence, and I won. And that's happened twice. He's never lost a case that I know of.
Yeah, and you
because
were
he
pointing
to the science.
And you were talking about the people that don't like him because he's a vaccine conspiracy theorist. Well, no, he just questioned this mRNA stuff, which was right to question. And he turns out to be correct about it. The research, the science has shown that these things don't do anything. So why are we mandating them? Why are we kicking people out of their jobs if they don't get them, if the thing doesn't even work? You know? Mm-hmm. You know, people lost their jobs in the military, the fire departments, police departments all across this country because they didn't want to take this experimental vaccine. And yet it was mandated for their job. So he's being proven right here. So all the people that looked at him and said, hey, conspiracy theorists and all this crap, it's not, look at this. There's the facts right here.
Yep. Yeah, and he actually wants to have more rigorous science behind things. You know what I'm saying? And they contest that as well. Like, no, we need to have the science prove that something's safe before we just put it on the market. And we've seen where pharmaceutical companies, hundreds of times have put out stuff, and it's caused, major problems. In one particular case, like, maybe 100,000 people were affected by having heart attacks and so forth. And and then even when they are found out to be guilty of this, they don't immediately take it off the market until they have to. Yeah, that's what's really psychotic about it. They want to go ahead and make as much money as they can off of it until they're actually forced to take it off the market. And that, to me, tells me that they have no scruples. You're willing to see people get harmed, possibly die, simply because you want to make some money. And that's sick, man.
Yeah. He's calling...
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying he's also calling for mercury to be removed from several different vaccines because there's no need for it.
Right. And he's given examples about, well, okay, sure, one dose may not have, the toxic amount of mercury that they allow for, but some of these take 5 or 6 doses before you've been totally shot up. And then you have to combine that with maybe 60 other vaccines that have the aerosol. By the time you've taken them all, you're toxic.
Yeah. And that's not good, man. We don't want that. He's asking the question, why is autism so common today when it was unheard of 40 years ago? When I grew up, nobody had autism. They just, if you couldn't sit still, the kid just can't sit still. He's wound too tight, But autism, no, it didn't drug up everybody.
Yep.
Today, they just go right for it.
Look to the Amish. The Amish that don't take the vaccines have very low autism rates. I don't think they've found one yet. There's supposedly one that I know that I've heard about, but they haven't proven it that person actually has it. Now, some Amish do take vaccines, but you can't include those people in that. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that don't take it, the Amish don't take their kids don't take any vaccines whatsoever, and they're some of the healthiest people around, man.
Yeah.
They don't have autism either.
Yeah, and they drink milk that's, what is it, raw milk, you know? All these other things that are supposed to kill you on sight, but they do them all day and don't have any problems.
I just bought a bunch of Amish soap bars at the grocery store today because they were on sale. So, hey, and I know it's safe. I know there's nothing toxic in it, so I feel better bathing in that than say, I don't know, Irish Spring. Who knows what's in all those perfumes and everything else?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, you smell like Irish Spring, man. You just smell funny for like several hours afterwards. It's not a good smell. It's like cheap.
When I was younger, I was like, I didn't like the smell of it, and I was like anti-Irish Spring and anti-Old Spice because my dad did Old Spice, and it just hated that smell. So I've always, when I think of Old Spice, I think of old people.
Exactly.
It's like, and I am older, but I don't want to wear an old man's, cologne.
No, exactly. And that's what it is. It just, you smell like an old man, right? No thanks.
Well, they call it Old Spice for a reason.
Yeah, it's old man spice.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. We get into, RFK Jr. Why don't they like him? Just because he's willing to work with Trump, Anybody who's willing to work with Trump is enemy. Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, look at all she's revealing nowadays. Look at all the stuff she's bringing forward. It's insane. And they don't like it. But you know what? She would have done it on either side of the aisle if she had this chance. She would have done it on either side of the aisle.
Well, some people are arguing that, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. are doing better at their jobs than, say, Pam Bondi, who's a Republican.
Yeah. But Tulsi came out with a really interesting clip the other day. This is from, what is this? The Vigilant Fox over on X. Are none of my videos going to play today? Weird. They're just spinning. Okay. She said, quote, James Clapper was on the team that created the manufactured intelligence assessment that led to the Iraq war about the Iraq WMDs. James Clapper. He writes about this in his book, saying that he and his team of intelligence analysts created something that was not there. When you look at his actions then and you look at his actions in 2016 as Obama's director of national intelligence, you see someone who has no problem whatsoever politicizing, manufacturing, and weaponizing intelligence for political outcome. So she's saying he's the dude that basically came up with the whole weapons of mass destruction thing in Iraq that led to us going in and invading under George Bush. Wow. Which is wild. He was the director of National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the NGA. They were responsible for analyzing satellite imagery and other geospatial intelligence. And he put it all out there. Yeah.
I mean, it's the things that people will do, to actually bring about a war. It's insane, man. They wanted to go to war for the longest time. These neoliberals, neocons, neoconservatives, they like war, and have to convince the people that the war is justified when it's not many times. And that's the thing that's got to stop as well. And I think that Trump is behind that agenda. I think his mindset is, look, we go to war only when we absolutely have to. And then if we do go to war, we go to win it, and then we get out. We don't stay there, go into nation building, and, spend all of our money, time. And plus, most of the time we go into nation building, we don't fix anything. It's just kind of a hoax, right? We just take the contracts, take the money, but never really bring the nation up to par, because you really need to have them sort of, like they want to get all of us, just sort of, in a state of dependence, right? They're not about liberating. And remember the whole thing about Iraq. When Iraq happened, right? All the mainstream media in tandem, in lockstep, they all changed their slogan to Freedom Iraq. Remember that? And then they made a big deal because they tore down Saddam Hussein's statue and they were freeing Iraq. But Iraq never got freed after that, man. Iraq first got electricity to about half the nation. Iraq is still struggling to this day.
Oh, absolutely. They never change anything. Afghanistan, we spent how many trillions of dollars over there? And now it's openly run by the Taliban. Right? Yeah. It's just, name a war that we've been in where we actually, Vietnam, nothing happened there. It's a communist country now. We tried to, give them the freedom, but it never happened. We lost that war. They're a communist country, The Korean War, at least we set up the boundary between North and South Korea, and South Korea flourished after that. So, maybe you go back to the Korean War and we had a war that actually got some tangible result we can point to 50 years later, or whatever many years it is now, but Vietnam, nothing. Afghan, nothing. Everywhere else in Iraq, Iran, just accomplished nothing in all these wars.
Yeah, they wanted to go to war with Iraq for a long time. There's that PNAC document that was called Rebuilding America's Defenses, and they said we really need to have another Pearl Harbor event in order for us to go to war with Iraq, because the people wouldn't buy it. Because they knew that the people of America are good-hearted, and we would not want to go to war unless there was a real reason to. So they were saying we need another another Pearl Harbor type event, and then they got it with 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
What did they call 9/11? Right away in the mainstream media, they called it a Pearl Harbor event. And then that's what rallied all the Americans to get behind it. Even though people did question, do they really have weapons of mass destruction, and does Iraq have anything to do with 9/11 at all?
Yeah, right? Did it even have anything to do with it? And Afghanistan is just where, superpowers go to die. It's like, if you start a war there, it's forget about it. It's over. And we accomplished nothing. We gave them all of that military weaponry, just straight up gave it to them.
Yeah.
We left we left in the worst possible way you can leave. And Biden, checked his watch when those people were coming back and getting buried, and the dead bodies came back. He's sitting there checking his watch, looking like he's just kind of bored as they're paying tribute and honor to the fallen soldiers. Just disgusting.
Yeah, I don't disagree with
all the money, the lives, everything that goes into that. It's just how many broken bodies are out there today,
The people in the military-industrial complex, they live in a different world than we do. And so they just don't understand, they don't feel the pain that we feel that come from the casualties from all sides. Nobody wants to see innocent women and children die either, right?
No,
no matter what nation it is. So, but, these people, obviously their conscience has been seared, and they have no problem with seeing millions of people die, innocent women and children die. You should never go to war unless it's an absolute necessity. Absolute necessity. And if we do, we should go to fight it, win it, and get out.
Even with World War II, Hitler had taken over the majority of Europe before we even got involved. It took Pearl Harbor to really kick us in the butt and say, okay, we're not going to, just let this happen. So yeah, even in that situation, we back then were very reluctant to go to war. Now we do it at the drop of a bucket. Is it drop of a bucket? Yeah. Just at a moment's notice. Okay, you need us to go to war. Let's go. At least Donald Trump has not gotten us, involved in any new wars. He's actually ended about, I think he's averaging one peace treaty a month for his first 6 months.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where the false flags come in. Sometimes they call it a pawn sacrifice, where, kind of like Pearl Harbor, they had advanced knowledge, but they still let it happen. And you could argue whether that's right or wrong. I think it's wrong, but some people will argue that was right. But I think we could have gone to war without that, because it was a big threat to the whole world. That war was.
Oh, yeah.
but it's called a pawn sacrifice, and it's really, in my opinion, kind of evil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to think that France and England were begging us to go to war in Europe during World War II. I mean, they were probably calling every single day, like, please, please, what's it going to take? Please, please join us in this fight. You can't hold back Germany alone, But they were really reluctant to, and I like that. I think that's a good thing, that we're not just quick to jump into any old war that's going to, pop up out there. Why Biden didn't put us into Ukraine with troops on the ground, I'm kind of surprised he didn't, but hey, we dodged a bullet there, right?
As far as we know, I mean, there may have been troops on the ground. How would we know? Were there reporters there in Ukraine? I never saw ABC on the ground out there. And if they were, it was probably very controlled.
Well, to be fair, we probably did have some level of troops on the ground over there because a lot of the weaponry and whatnot that we were supplying required skilled.
Use it. Yeah, exactly.
Skilled operatives to come in there and be able to, use it and show them how to use it and train them and that whole thing. Now, that doesn't mean they're on the front line, but it does mean that they're in there. I mean, if you're showing up with a bunch of bombs and you're training these people how to use it, you're part of the war.
Yeah. And you probably are in harm's way. We may have even lost a few people. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. And then you got the mercenaries and whatnot that just go in there on their own and, are more than happy to join any war they can as long as it pays enough,
Yeah.
And it does. War pays, man. You want to make money, you go to war. Not as an enlisted man, but as a mercenary.
And there's a lot of people that do it for noble reasons. What was that football player that did it? And then he found out that basically the war was bogus and that he was going to become a whistleblower. And next thing you know, he got taken out by friendly fire. Imagine that. He was a football player, right? And when 9/11 happened, he was one of the first people to say, I'm going to serve my country. And that's the thing that's so evil about the military-industrial complex. They will play on the good heart of good people. And many times it cost them their lives. Cost him his.
Yeah. It's not cool, Barry.
Can't remember his name, but anyway, if you guys could somebody probably knows. If you say something in the chat, if you know who it is, I can't remember his name, but even his parents believe there was some foul play.
I want to say Tillis.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen any coverage of him, but they're going back a decade or so at this point.
And he was one of those guys that everybody loved because he just raised the morale. I mean, he was a real leader. He had a heart of gold and people loved him. And then to see him die supposedly in friendly fire, man, devastating.
It's a tragedy, man. War sucks. War is the ultimate, worst thing you can have in the world. And there's people out there that get rich off it. It just is what it is. If you can sleep with yourself at night, more power to you. But I don't know. It's probably not for me. But anyway, folks, it's about that time. We're going to have to take a break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We're going to wrap up hour 1 right here, but stay tuned. We've got hour 2 coming right after these messages.
All right, we're on radio break. Long break, but we're on radio break.
Nice.
And the pressure's changing.
Well, we came into this.
I can just feel it in my neck, in my ears. I hope it.
What's in
The
your
barometric pressure.
Yeah. Yep. I took some allergy medicine earlier, so. I hope it kicks in. I'm going to be going for, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go grab some more coffee, and I'll be right back. All right? Don't start the show without me, all right?
CS, I give you the mic. I'll just listen.
Okay.
I'm eating chips, man. All right? All right. No, you're not supposed to have dead air, man. You're supposed to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm eating some greasy potato chips, man.
Sounds good.
Jalapeno. You gotta get a little bit of fire, you know.
Oh, I love me some heat.
I want to find out who that guy was. Tidsdale, maybe. Something like that. No, I don't know. Looking it up. Pat Tillman. I knew it was a T. Says here.
Tillman, yeah. But I said Tillis.
It was close, dude. I said Tidsdale. Yeah. I was getting close, man. Let's see. He left his career after the 9/11 to enlist in May of 2002. The military misreported the circumstances, and Tillman's family, pursued congressional and DOD investigations that ultimately exposed a cover-up of the truth, including the burning of his body armor and uniform, and false heroic narratives distributed to the public. So they used him after maybe somebody killed him, if it was an inside job, as, you know, being some kind of a patriot. So Pat Tillman remains the most well-known case of a professional NFL player killed by friendly fire while serving in the War of Terror. Let me hear what the what was the conspiracy theories and what were the facts that backed them is the question that I asked ChatGPT. The official narrative is that he was killed by friendly fire when his unit became disoriented in a canyon. He was shot 3 times in the head at close range. 3 times in the head, that sounds like a sniper hit job to me. By close range by fellow U.S. soldiers during a chaotic skirmish where they mistook him for the enemy. No enemy combatants were present during the incident. The conspiracy theories and the facts that backed them. The military lied to create a propaganda hero. The Army burned his uniform and body armor. His Silver Star citation falsely claimed that he died under enemy fire. Commanders knew within days that he was killed by friendly fire, but allowed the lie to persist for over a month. His family was not told the truth until after his nationally televised memorial.
Oh,
Number 2, high-level
guess who just showed up in the chat room? Sonia.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
In the
What's up, Sonia?
Also, scrolling up earlier, Roger said that the only difference he's seen is something. Hold on here. Let me quote it right. About the wars, and that is about something about technocrats and the ethno-religious fanatics. Hello? All right. Well, we'll just get this set up and go over on our next call. Because I forgot. You know, it's that time. So let's go over to and switch up over on Wednesday too, because it's time. Nope. That one won't work either, huh? Okay, well, we're gonna get everybody back up and running here in just a sec. Okay. That one isn't working either. Okay. There we go. Bringing the people in. 1, 2.
Hey.
All right, we are back.
4, 3, 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Not quite, but we're getting there.
That's how close it was. Oh, yeah. Here's the interesting thing. Yes, he was questioning the war, it says, and that he was getting ready to speak with Noam Chomsky after his tour, and that some people believe he was assassinated because of that. He was becoming disillusioned with the war and was planning to speak out. Some claim his death may have been intentional. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
3 to the head. That sounds like a professional job to me. Sort of like those people that commit suicide and shoot themselves twice in the head.
From the back of the head, yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Not how that works.
Hey, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. What do I know, right?
Yeah. Back of the head with a shotgun 2 times.
Yeah.
I could ease that. Yeah, that's disgusting what they did to that poor guy and his family. Absolutely disgusting. Sad.
Yeah, a hero, no less.
We are cynics for a reason. Like, I don't think people like myself or you want to be a cynic. Like, I would rather be like, and I'm still positive within the cynicism, but at the same time, man, I don't like being a cynic, man, but it's what led me to that place. Stuff like this and thousands of other incidents.
Yeah.
And you don't know who you can trust. I guess that's why, you know, God, family, and friends are like what's the most important thing at the end of the day, in my opinion, you know?
Oh, before I forget, you need to scroll up and also check in your Minds messages. Sonia made you a T-shirt or something, and she wants you to check it out, all right?
I saw that.
Oh, you did? And she wanted to know how you liked it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
All right, you like that?
Yeah, it's my backdrop from my Minds page on the T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
With all the words crossed out.
Yep.
And
if anybody's interested, if you're in the Kick, Twitch, or YouTube chats, when you see the, you'll see how you can take and order those T-shirts as well through them. Here's your countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show for Wednesday, August 6, 2025. Diving into everything that's going on out there in the world. Barry, in the last hour, you were talking about Tillis, is his name? Or Tillman.
Pat Tillman. That was his actual name. We got it wrong, but we were close.
So what?
I said we got it. We were close. We didn't. I think you were saying Tillis, and it's Dill. We were on the right track.
Yeah, Tillman. So you were talking in the break about a little bit more about his story. So why don't you just bring everyone up to speed with what your research brought you during the break?
Sure. I mean, the big question is, was Tillman silenced because of his beliefs? And the theory was and is, and it's pretty much a fact, that he was becoming disillusioned with the war and he was planning to speak out. And some claim that his death may have been intentional. He had begun to question the war and was reportedly reading Noam Chomsky, an anti-war intellectual at the time. His private journals were never returned to the family. He was planning to meet with Chomsky after his tour. His brother Kevin, who served with him later, publicly criticized the government, saying that they used him as a propaganda tool, which is all true, actually. And the close range nature of his head wounds, like I was saying, 3 times to the head. I mean, that's kind of questionable. That raised some eyebrows. So they did lie and they did cover up. That's all been admitted now. But the question is, how far did it go further than what we know? Like, was it an intentional assassination, like an inside job? I think that's the big question. I mean, they did cover it up. They didn't tell anybody for a month that it was friendly fire. They said that he died, at the hand of the enemy, and he was a hero because they wanted to use him as a propaganda tool, right? But the truth had to come out, and it did. But the ultimate truth, the whole truth, didn't necessarily come out. At least as far as I'm concerned, because I think, as well as many other people at that time, that perhaps it was an inside job. And that doesn't mean that the whole government's involved in it. Okay, folks, that just means there's some corrupt within the military or the government who did something, without going through any proper channels. It happens probably more often than we'd like to believe.
And you got to think about the army. You know what I mean? It's the friggin' army. They're making decisions all the time that cost people lives, right? Sometimes they'll just flat out order 5 people to march into that building over there, and they know for a fact every one of them is going to get killed, but they need that to happen so they can trigger the next wave and, yada, yada, yada. So a Tillman, someone like this, he could potentially prolong the war. He could potentially drive away funding for what needs to get done over there. It's a small price to pay to sacrifice one soldier to advance the war efforts, I guess is what I'm saying. And he was, property. He's a GI, General Infantry. He's a property of the government at that point.
Well, you can imagine if you're really into the war for all the wrong reasons, for profit and for whatever, resources, etc., and Tillman is going to go against that narrative, then he becomes the enemy in their mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Because,
because if he came out, spoke out against it, and had reason to believe, like good reason to believe, that the whole thing was bogus, like the war was bogus in the first place, right? And he starts convincing people of that, then the American people will no longer be behind the war, no longer support it, and then that could bring to an end.
And more people will die because of that than they would otherwise if this guy just, goes away. So we make him go away, and you're saving lives. Like what is it? Jack Nicklaus and with Tom Cruise, You Can't Handle the Truth. That kind of mentality, right? What movie was that?
A Few Good Men.
Nicholson.
That's
Nicholas is a golfer, buddy.
Oh, Nicholson. Yeah. Sorry. That's not the first time I've mixed those two up.
We're just mixing up everybody today, but hey, we're close, man. And that's what counts.
All right, so let's get into the big stuff here. AG Pam Bondi ordered federal prosecutors to present evidence to a grand jury in the Russia collusion hoax. Okay, the grand jury is in Florida. This is big. Okay, so Tulsi Gabbard takes all this information, hands it over to Pam Bondi. Now we say, is anything going to come of it? If anything's going to come of it, it's because this grand jury is going to make it happen. They've got it all. They've got a prosecutor down there. They're in Florida, and their job is to put the evidence out there, put the people out there one by one. What's the evidence? Vote on the grand jury, and if they vote to prosecute, boom, charges are filed. So we're getting real close, Barry.
I'm sorry, man. I just couldn't resist, dude. You got me so excited, man. Come on!
This is big. Now, this is into the Russiagate stuff, which, this goes all the way up to the Mar-a-Lago raid, which, was based on all this stuff. Illegal. It goes all the way up to that. So everything that happened with all these people involved in it for all that time, from 2016 to Mar-a-Lago raid, are all being looked at. It's all being looked at. It'll probably be under some sort of a RICO charge, is my guess, because it just makes perfect sense. This is exactly what that law is made for. And someone's gonna sing. of all these people on all these lists that were involved in every step of the way, some of these people are going to sing. And it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Man, I'm telling you. You know, we've been getting closer and closer to this. And I made a post a few weeks ago, and I said, we're now one step closer to arrest, indictments, and convictions. And now I put a post a couple of days ago, and I said, we're now just one step away from arrest, indictments, and convictions. So we went from we're one step closer to only one step away. I mean, this is one step away, folks, right? All they have to do is indict. That's it now.
Yep. It's like you say, one step away. Boom. If they vote to indict him, and they always say, you know, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich, right?
Sure.
So it doesn't take a lot in these cases for them to go forward and then be presented to a judge in Florida, mind you, not District of Columbia or some of that garbage, Southern District of New York, places where it's just guaranteed to fail. This will be in front of people that are bipartisan, truly. You know? Now, in a parallel story, House Oversight Committee subpoenas Hillary Clinton and others to appear for depositions.
Yep.
The interesting twist here is that this is all this is related more to the not the Russian one, but Epstein.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so this is Epstein-related stuff. The other one that Pam Bondi just put forward is all the Russiagate-related stuff. So these guys are getting hit on two fronts simultaneously. And here's the schedule. James Comey, October 7th. William Barr, August 18th. Gonzalez, August 26th. Sessions, August 28th. Mueller, September 2nd. Loretta Lynch, September 9th. And Eric Holder, September 30th, to wrap it all up. That is going to be good.
I just saw a whistleblower talking about Bill Barr saying that he was kind of one of the ones behind the whole, you know, the Russian collusion delusion as well, that he was like, hey, we can get Trump on RICO charges. That would be the hardest to defend. And so isn't it weird that that's kind of what's coming against them now?
Yeah.
And again, this is all alleged. That's just what the whistleblower was saying. I saw her. She was being interviewed somewhere, and she said that Bill, because she was on the inside, so she was whistleblowing.
And there was someone, I don't know, I played the clip on Sunday night. Scott Jennings was involved talking to somebody else on CNN. And the guy says, you know, this is unprecedented. It's just, you can't go after a former president like this. And Scott Jennings was like, well, you just did it to Trump. You just tried to put the guy away for life with 34 felony counts that he's convicted guilty on, right? You're trying to do it yourself. What happens when Trump gets out of office and all of a sudden this goes to the next phase? They're going to try to throw him in prison. He's going to appeal it, but, you know, he's going to have to appeal it on bond. So they're going to have to give him that. So in theory, the right judge could just throw President Trump in jail pretty much the week after he gets out of the White House.
Exactly.
You know? So don't tell me that there's no precedent for this. They did it to Trump. Now they're getting their comeuppance.
Well, it's like I was saying, this is going to work in our favor because it's going to basically kind of force Trump's hand to not just to fight for America, but he's also going to be fighting for his life and his family's life as well.
Yeah.
So it becomes even more personal.
JD Vance, you're in on it too. Get ready. It's coming. I mean, do you think the stuff isn't coming for you?
Oh, yeah. If they ever get power back again, they're going to abuse 10 times worse than they did under Biden. That much is for sure, because they learned. They said, oh, we weren't tough enough, because if we were tough enough, would never have been elected. So they realized that they're going to have to double down, or even double down, and they're doubling down if they ever get the power back.
And they had like 8 lawfare cases against Trump going on simultaneously. So what do you do to step that up? Do you do 30? You know, how many different
from the playbook, right? Everything that you could possibly do. And I think most people believe that, you know, this wasn't a lone gunman that just had it out for Trump, that he was, you know, working for some deep state figures. I mean, and there's some evidence that supports that idea as well. Quite a bit of evidence that supports that he wasn't acting alone and that he was just a puppet, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you got to think over the last 10 years, like how many honey traps have they sent for Trump? How many, and I say like a honeypot, not necessarily women, but money, things, whatever. How many different ways have they come at him trying to get him to potentially break a law here or there in one way or another? I bet they've set him up 100 ways from Mars, and they didn't get him.
Yep.
I mean, they don't have it. If they had it, they would have had it. They never had it.
And the sad thing is that most of these politicians are easily compromised. I heard from many people when Ron Paul was in Congress that nobody even wasted time trying to bribe him or manipulate. Because he was just so solid. His backbone was just so strong. Whether you agree with him or disagree with his position or what have you, he was just like immovable, unshakable. His convictions were that strong. So people didn't even waste their time trying to compromise him because he was not compromisable.
Yeah, he didn't care. He was just there to do his job and, not get rich. That's part of the deal. It's a decision you make. I'm not going to go here to get rich. I'm going to get offered 100,000 different ways, to get rich, but I'm not going to take them. I'm just going to take my salary.
He was a doctor. He already had money. I mean, but I guess, once you get some money, most people you get an insatiable appetite for it and you want more because there's like power with having more money as well and prestige and all of that. So, but obviously Ron Paul is a humble man, clearly, and he doesn't care about any of that. I mean, come on. He just kind of looks like Mr. Magoo, right?
Exactly. I wish there were more like him.
I love it.
It's a shame that there's not,
Yeah. He's a simple man. And I think simple man and these times is a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sit down and read a good Ayn Rand book. And that's your weekend right there. Nice simple man. I'm going to read Fountainhead this weekend just for fun. I haven't read it in a year. So
everybody needs to read it. So
yeah. Anyway, stuff's going down here. Keep an eye out for Pam Bondi for the House Oversight Committee. This stuff is coming at these guys from both directions. And these are subpoenas, man. All those names and those dates, they're subpoenas. They have to show up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They can't just not show up. They've got to show up and they've got to answer questions. And a lot of these people have been given full immunity from Joe Biden for any crimes they've committed in their entire lives, pretty much. So they have to speak. They have to talk. You can't hide behind the fifth if you have immunity for what you've done.
That's right. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be public. I sure hope they are. They better be. I mean, how many people are going to be.
Need to get HBO down there like they did to Alex Jones, right? Yeah. I think this is bigger than any Alex Jones trial. I can tell you that for sure.
Way bigger. This is bigger than like the Nuremberg trials. This is bigger than anything in history, really. There's just never. If these guys all start getting charged down in Florida and they've got to go down there and defend themselves, it's going to be Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, you name it, all charged on multiple felony charges. You got to be kidding me. There's no looking back from that. That's the biggest case in the history of the world for treason, for, subversion of the government, for sabotage, I mean, we're talking jail time here. Treason is not something to be taken lightly.
I mean,
so, man,
where's going to walk around in America and not be like loathed if it's proven that he committed treason? I mean, he'll have immunity, so he'll be able to, go out to eat and eat at a restaurant. And I mean, he'll probably leave the country. I would imagine that this would cause him to leave the country. I'm just guessing. If all this comes out, it's proven true that, of course, he was the kingpin of it all, which so far what we know, it looks like that was the case. And if it ends up being that, do you think he's going to want to stay in America when he's known as the president who committed treason? I mean, come on, really?
Where are you going to go, though, where that's not going to be the case? You're known everywhere on the planet,
You go somewhere where they hate Trump, hate the rule of law. You go to Germany, or you go to
Brazil nowadays, man.
Canada.
Mm-hmm. Canada, take you in with open arms. We know you did the good thing trying to stop Trump. It was good effort. You just didn't work.
I'm just telling you, things are going to heat up like never before, man. Because here's how it's operated. We both know, ever since this spiritual political war started, it's been a series of strikes and counterstrikes. It's never been not that way since this war started. So just expect, once we start to gain some ground, go out there and celebrate it and be happy. But don't you dare drop your guard and think that the deep state thugs have ended or capitulated. Oh no, they will dig deeper into their evil, wicked bag of tricks. Oh yes, indeed they will.
Oh yeah. If that whole group of people I listed all end up in jail, there's a whole lot more deep state out there that's just going to be more and more energized to deep state even harder.
Yeah, if that's a thing, then they're going to deep state more, for sure. And maybe not even, American deep staters, but globalist deep staters. They may be more outraged because they have to have America in order to fulfill their global agenda. Without America, they can't do it.
Yep.
So they are the ones that are going to be the most threatened by America being restored and the power of the people, the power being restored to the people, and the rule of law being restored. That will affect the globalists more than anybody.
Let's talk about this as an interesting story here in the couple minutes we have left. Trump went to the UK recently, or to the UK, and did a bit of a tour, went out and spoke. In the last month, he is now polling over there at 26%. That's up 9 points from it was a month ago. So his trip over there did wonders for his image. 26% doesn't sound that good, but Sir Keir Starmer only enjoys 23% favorability.
Oh, is that right? So he's got a better rating than Keir Starmer.
Yes, he's beating him up by 3 percentage points in his own country. Thank you very much.
That hurt. That had to hurt.
Oh, that's got to hurt. Oh, for Starmer?
Yeah. I'm more popular than Keir Starmer, okay? All right?
If you go to England, they like me more than they like him. That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
The polls have shown it.
I'm not, I don't make these up. It's just a fact. They like me more.
Exactly.
Oh, it's too funny. But I love it, Got to love it. And another 9 points on his trip. I mean, that's a big jump. What would that be? 17% to 26? It's worth going over there, man. And then he's got this, thing with the king he's going to do later on this year, which they're already starting to backpedal on. They don't want him to speak to the Congress over there. I wonder why.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Well, he sat down with Keir Starmer and just said, look, lower taxes, less immigration, more cops, and forget all the DEI stuff, and you're good to go. People like you. They'll vote for you. And Keir Starmer didn't like that. The king didn't like that. Nobody liked that except for the people, the citizens, the Denzians that are out on the street trying to make a living every day. But on that note, folks, we've got to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
All right. We are on radio break.
Sir Keir Starmer.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that one up. You haven't done that in a little while. Keir Starmer.
I'm sure we did it Sunday night.
Well,
I talk about England a lot.
We expected on Sunday night, Bill Willie, come on now. In Yotivation.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't say it tonight. Keir Starmer!
It was so funny when you guys were all doing that in like unison. I was like, Keir Starmer!
So let's see. I've got about 5 articles left, maybe at that. The Guatemalan Congresswoman, J.P. Morgan Bank of America, were told by the Biden administration to blackball Trump. Was Epstein a secret FBI informant?
That's come out now.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then what else?
it's come out to the public, but we've always known that he was working for the FBI. That was the whole thing that we were talking about. You know, that's
Yeah.
why they let him off the first time.
Yeah, was he an FBI asset? Do.
Or one of the other alphabet agencies' assets.
Mm-hmm.
Josh would say, it's like a Tootsie Pop. You have to get 3 licks and then crunch. Then you'll know because you get to the center. What was that?
Sound effects.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Roger says nope, he was financing those assets. He had high connections with CIA, especially through research being done at ASU.
I'm going to talk like this throughout the show.
But Roger hates talking politics.
Welcome to the Censorship Sucks radio show. How you guys doing out there tonight? Y'all doing alright? Yeah, me too. It's 9:30 in
Yeah,
Japan right now.
Sunday night, you ought to.
What's that?
You ought to come at Willie with that thing. And then the most evil you can make it, and just tell him like you're his brain talking to him.
This is George Soros, and I'm here to make a deal with you, Willie. Would you like to make some money?
What's it? Sell warm hot dogs.
I like your warm hot dogs. I'd like to put some vaccines in your hot dogs. Would you like that?
And sell them to the school system in America.
I want to put vaccines in the dental floss so we can vaccinate them.
There you go.
Actually, I'm afraid I hear that's a real thing. I haven't confirmed or denied it, but or proven it to be false. But apparently, Bill Gates is working on putting vaccinations in dental laws. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that.
That's a good voice, though. I like it. We can work with that.
Yeah.
Oh, we can work with that all day.
Yeah.
We can call you Georgie Sloros.
George Soros.
No,
Yes, my
Klaus.
child.
30 seconds, fellas. 30
And you start
seconds.
with Klaus Schwab, my favorite friend of all.
Eat the bugs.
You'll eat the bugs and love it.
All right.
Look out,
so
cats,
back-
dogs, and kids, because guess what?
Yep.
3,
I said
2,
a woman
1,
after.
and you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show for Wednesday night. Barry, you got some good voices going on over there. You bought a soundboard or something?
No, George Soros visited me today, and he's been hanging out at my house. I don't know what his problem
Okay.
is. But I
Sloros?
can bring him over if you want to talk to him a little bit. He's in a wheelchair, so he's not getting around as quite as easily as he used to. He's letting Alex do everything. Alex,
Shoot. What's he up to? What's he got to say?
I don't know. Alex, I'm sorry, not your son. George, come on over here. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is George Soros, globalist extraordinaire.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
A global extraordinaire, for sure.
It's nice to meet you. We should bring you on Sunday night so you can meet Willie.
Oh, I have many plans for Willie.
I bet you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's scary.
Anyway, if you're from Illinois, Democrat Representative Delia Ramirez may very well be your House of Representatives representative. Okay, she is from Illinois. She's from Guatemala originally, and she went down to Mexico City this weekend for some symposium or whatever. And she said, quote, "I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American." She serves in the House of Representatives, the big one, not the state, the House in Washington, D.C. And she's a proud Guatemalan before she's an American.
Is
Homeland
she
Security.
Does she have dual citizenship or just citizenship in America?
I don't know off the top of my head. And I would not be shocked if her parents migrated over here and she was actually born here. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's just the way this stuff kind of works. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you come to the United States, the Declaration, I hereby declare an oath that I absolutely entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potent, state, or sovereignty of which I have or have not hereforto been a subject or citizen, that I will ... It goes on. In other words, she's also in the House, so she swore to uphold Congress, or the Constitution, from all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. It's kind of a sham. It's a shame. Homeland Security said there is no room in this country for hyphenated Americanism. Americanism is a matter of the spirit and of the soul. Of allegiance must be purely to the United States. We must unsparingly condemn any man who holds any other allegiance. That's a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. So, kind of crazy, Barry. She said the quote part loud.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the Democrats are pretty good at that as a general rule.
Mm-hmm. And she said it in Spanish, too. She switched to Spanish to say that. So,
yeah.
Try
to put the mind scramble on everybody. I see how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she thinks it'll get under the radar because she didn't say it in English, so they're not going to get that quote out there. They're not going to have that clip they can play everywhere where, her constituencies probably doesn't speak Spanish for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like, and I'm digging a little bit here, but it's almost like she's wanting to say, I really don't like America that much. And that's what makes you wonder, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'm here. It's the option to go to Guatemala and live there is always on the table. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. You're going to have a fantastic home down there. What you can get down there for a few $100,000 would blow your mind. You'll have a garden. You'll have access to the ocean if you want it. Beautiful home, the whole 9 yards. You'll live very, very well down there on a fraction of what it costs to live in, Washington, D.C. or Chicago. So why not? If you love it that much, go down there and make it the best it can be. Don't come up here and play games with us. You'll go down there and you'll be a huge success. You'll be a former U.S. Congresswoman. So, Lord, they'll be buying you, meals and golf games and you name it as fast as they can. But
I mean, it's typical of Democrats. They're afraid of the American flag. Many of them are as well. And I mean, I've heard so many Democrats say, whenever I see somebody, with a flag in front of their house, I'm feel a little bit threatened or terrified, or I automatically think they're a fascist and a Nazi. I mean, for what? For the American flag? So what? You hate what America stands for? This is not like out of the ordinary for extremist leftists. You know what I'm saying? They have this, they're threatened by the ideals of America. I mean, the real ideals of America: freedom, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, free speech, all of these things. They feel threatened by it for some odd reason.
Yeah. For some odd reason.
Well, maybe because they're communists and Marxist socialists. I don't know. But
there you go.
Pretty good guess.
Yeah. When you're looking to depopulate the planet by 80%, a lot of those freedom and all that kind of stuff gets in the way.
It sure does. Absolutely.
Yeah. So here's an article coming out of the New York Post saying that J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, debanked President Trump for his role in the January 6th Capitol Hill melee, following pressure from the Biden administration's banking regulators and Federal Reserve. So Biden's administration went over to J.P. Morgan and Bank of America and said, you can't work with Donald Trump anymore. And they said, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. And they basically, Donald Trump said he had something like $1 billion he was looking to deposit with one of them, and he couldn't do it. So he was running around to other banks, putting like 20 million here, 50 million there, because it's hard to find a big bank that can safely handle $1 billion deposit.
Right.
Believe it or not, if you went down to your local bank right now, some little, credit union you belong to or whatever, and you said, hey, I want to deposit $1 billion, I could see a scenario where they just say, yeah, we can't do that. Like, what are you, nuts?
Right.
Yeah, like you could do it, but what are you, insane? How would you give one bank like that $1 billion? So,
right.
Yeah,
well, the
they get folded up tomorrow.
We've talked about it many, many times that debanking is a real thing. Many, just, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook influencers say we're being debanked. We can name names even. A lot of people were debanked. I would tell people about it, and they were like, well, I'm a conservative. I haven't been debanked. Yeah, but you haven't said anything. You haven't spoken your mind freely. You're basically not contributing. You're just sitting there in complacency. Of course, they don't care. You can believe whatever you want. It's only when you stand up for what you believe in that they don't like.
Yeah. Look at Canada, too, our neighbors to the north, with the whole freedom rally with all the truckers in Ottawa. They debanked so many people during that process.
It's not it's fascism, it's communism, it's all of those things. It's slavery, it's tyranny, it's totalitarianism, it's insanity, it's madness.
Mm-hmm. And, even Justin Trudeau, when he went to Europe to speak in front of the EU, they booed him and half of them walked out because he did that. Even in Europe, they did that. Right? Mm-hmm. So even over in Europe, they saw that as just way too far out of line. And yet here we are finding out that Joe Biden did the same thing. That's why Trump is putting out an executive order this week that will put an end to political bias in what they call it is reputational risk. If we work with Donald Trump, it could be a reputational risk. Or anybody, Steve Bannon, just name anybody on the right. And if we work with you, it's a reputational risk. Why? They represent half the country. There's always been two sides to the political debate. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to try to, call one side of it Nazis and Hitler and say you can't bank here in America? You can't have a bank account? That's disgusting.
Well, that stuff greases the skids to bring us into like a social credit score, and then basically you go along with the official narrative on everything, or else we debank you, we take away your privileges, your travel privileges, your privilege to buy meat, whatever, like they have in China right now. I mean, that's people go, oh, it could be much worse. Well, yeah, but in order to get much worse, you have to get to that phase first. Yeah. It's transitional. To tyranny is transitional.
Mm-hmm. Did it to Alex Jones. They've done it to so many people out there because they, like you said, they just speak truth to power. They question things. This doesn't look right. Has anyone looked into this? Because to me, it smells fishy. Let's dig deeper. And suddenly, here we are a decade later, and we've got Pam Bondi sending all these, records over to a grand jury. A decade after it happened.
It's what tyrants and totalitarians do that don't have a social credit score system already in place. These are the steps that take you to that place, right? You start debanking them. You start putting them in jail for, simply having an opinion that's different than the official narrative. All of those things lead down the road to a digital ID, social credit score, vaccine passports, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It all leads to total tyranny. And the Democrats are the biggest movers and shakers in that realm.
Absolutely. They're really, it's frightening to watch them in action. It really is. Anyway, let's move on here in the limited amount of time we have left. Let's talk about Texas a little more. Okay, so what they're trying to do is redistrict. We spoke about it a little bit in the first hour, but we didn't get into it in its order then with the full details. So they're trying to redistrict down in Texas. They want to change the map around, wiggle the lines into place, and at the end of the day, it looks like it's going to give Republicans 5 extra seats out of Texas in the House. And so the left is freaking out. They don't want that, obviously. So the Democrats in Texas, the state House, have all fled the state. They're up in places like Illinois, which is gerrymandered to the nth degree. They're in New York, same. They're all over the place, hiding out. And what Abbott is doing is they're saying, if you're not back by Friday and we don't get a quorum by Friday, you're all fired, and I'm going to appoint people to replace you. So it'll be nearly 100% Republican House in Texas if this happens on Friday. And I mean, you want to see something that's going to blow up by the end of the week, because they're not going to come back on their own. I highly doubt it. And so he's going to put in the order. You're all fired. You're all kicked out. Here's your new temporary replacements that I appoint. And on Monday morning, they can show up there and pass this thing unanimously 100-0, or whatever the numbers are. And so that's the look of it. Now, Barry, we talked about how in Oregon they did this a few years ago, but with the opposite side. The Republicans left the state to try to prevent this from happening. And they all, the state troopers went out across borders and whatnot, got them, found them, brought them all back. And, eventually they settled into place and it took the L, which really, this is just all about taking an L. You can't win them all. Texas Democrats, this is an L. Go home and take it and live to fight another day.
The Democrats don't take defeat very well. That's one thing we've talked about over and over. They do not lose well. They are not good losers.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that's their narcissism and stuff, but, for whatever reason. And then, of course, they project that on us and say Trump, was a bad loser. He wouldn't admit defeat, but he really wasn't defeated. He won. And we're going to find that out, that in 2020, he actually won.
I see a strong case to be made for that. I could pull together about 5 different ways that don't even involve ballots that had enough influence to push the election.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Search engine manipulation, news manipulation, all this stuff.
They demonized Trump, in ways that were just like absurd, like the Russian collusion delusion that never happened.
Exactly. And they just beat that dead horse day in, day out for 4 years while he was president. It killed his ability to actually run and run effectively as the president, to be the president. And that's the treason in it, is that it was intended to make him a lame duck on day one with half his, cabinet against him. And it worked.
And it was very unlawful as well, like to fabricate that stuff, to be in that high of an office and to fabricate stuff like that. I mean, that's criminal.
Yeah, they knew it was.
They knew it was fraudulent. Exactly.
Yeah, they knew. They knew that all this stuff was made up out of thin air, and they ran with it, and ran with it, and ran with it, and beat it like a dead horse for years.
It was election meddling nonstop. I mean, you could even argue successfully, in my opinion, that the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing was election meddling, because they had to.
Absolutely, it was.
I mean, all the stuff that was on that laptop, people had access to.
And the 51 spies who lied, all they said is, well, it has the earmarks of Russian disinformation. It looks like it kind of could be if you squint at it, And yet that was held up as law, that these 51 agents signed this thing saying it kind of had the hallmark. It kind of looked like something Russia could potentially do.
Mm-hmm. And they want us to believe the impossible, right? Like the Russian collusion delusion, and that Joe Biden is as sharp as a tack. He's probably one of the sharpest presidents we've ever had. He doesn't have any cognitive decline. He's great. He's amazing. He's, running up the stairs of Air Force One. It's total madness. And if I was a Democrat, I would be so ticked off because I would want to win fair and square.
Yeah.
Because
In a
I
debate.
believe that my policies are the best. We don't need to cheat. We don't need to lie. We don't need to steal. We don't need to be unlawful. We can win because we have the best policies, but they don't have the best policies.
Exactly. It's you want to be able to go out there and successfully win in the debate in the open with no censorship, just an honest, open debate with both sides being heard. That's where you win. When you win that field, you win it all. When you have to censor and twist and this, again, with the UK, man, this Online Safety Act that just passed is ridiculous. It is. I mean, I watched a thing today about how GTA 6 is kind of paused in its tracks now because they don't know if they can even release it. They're based out of Rockstar's based out of London or England. At the very least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big thing with them. Like they can't put this thing out if they got $1.5 billion invested in it, and it might just get blackballed right from the get-go. And they want to blackball them because if they can get Rockstar with $1.5 billion release of a brand new game that's been, the most waited for game of all time, if they can stop that in its tracks, they can stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Where's the end? There's no end in sight. At that point, you got the whole industry under your thumb.
There you go. I mean, it's they have no other option, dude. Unfortunately, I mean, I hate to say it, but the Democrats are losing ground by the day.
Yeah.
And it's just nonstop. I mean, the whole thing, like the Sydney Sweeney thing, I mean, that didn't help them out any. I mean, even Bill Maher was criticizing that, right? Talking about how insane. I mean, come on, really? Sydney Sweeney's a Nazi now? I mean, people on the left, you got to come out of your, out of your trance. You're in a trance, man. But I'm glad. Yeah. I hope they keep it up, man, because it only helps MAGA.
Mm-hmm. It's I love that. Yeah, the Bill Maher thing. He's like, suddenly, if you think she's hot, you're a Nazi. Like, she's clearly hot. So, like, you're just alienating every young man in the country. Like, they're trying to win back the male demographic. This is not how you do it. Like that meme you're talking about where the kid comes out and he's, after he heard that, if you think Sydney Sweeney is hot, you're a Nazi. So he comes out of his room and he's like, Dad, I think I'm a Nazi. What should I do?
Yeah.
Dad's like, what?
We need to go to reprogramming camp. Hillary's got one ready for you. It'll be a fun camp. We'll reprogram you and teach you to hate yourself and teach you how that, because you're white, you're terrible. And, all the things that, you're supremacist and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Super happy fun time camp.
It'll be great. You'll love it because other kids will be there too. Yeah.
You're going to love it.
You'll learn to submit to everything and be a weak man and not to have any backbone. We'll teach you all of that and more.
Eat the bugs, man. We're going to get you on a bug regiment right out of the gate.
Part of the fun camp would be like a certain amount of soy. They'd have to consume like, I don't know, maybe a half a gallon of soy milk every day, to sort of get that melted, get that estrogen there, kind of effeminize them a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Tofu and soy. That's all you get.
Yeah, a tofu soy diet at Hillary Clinton's fun camp. I could see it now. It'd be great, man. Every kid would rush to it in a heartbeat. And
you got to use Willie's patented tofu.
His GMO worm tofu.
Yeah, it's good. That's the good stuff. Anyway,
good stuff.
I got another clip. I restarted my system here during the break, so hopefully this one will play. I played it Sunday night, and it was just beautiful. I want to play it again. Steve Miller with Maria Bartiromo.
The Russia collusion hoax against President Trump remains the single greatest hoax and the greatest assault on our democracy in the history of this country. There's no comparison. There's no parallel to anything else. It was a coup. And I'm using that term literally. It was a coup to overthrow a democratically elected government, a coup carried out by the intelligence apparatus of this country, by the deep state, by Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party. The new information that has been revealed by the Director of National Intelligence and by the FBI eliminates any scintilla of doubt about the intention, the premeditation, the planning and orchestration of this conspiracy. It meets all of the criminal elements of a seditious conspiracy against the United States.
Yes.
It meets the criminal elements of an insurrection. It meets the criminal elements of a conspiracy against the government and the criminal elements of a conspiracy to deprive citizens of their civil rights under color of law. One egregious felony after another. And the conspiracy is demonstrated by the forethought of realizing and documenting that they understood that this was fake from the beginning, meeting the mens rea standard in law.
Mens rea.
Because of that, because it is a conspiracy, every single individual actor is now part of that conspiracy. So that includes Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Hillary and Schiff and everybody else who knowingly and willfully perpetrated this plot, this coup, this conspiracy, this scheme against President Trump and the government of the United States. And now is the time and the hour and the moment for accountability so that we can reclaim this democracy, Maria.
Wow. Go, Stephen. Go, Stephen. Go, Stephen. I mean, just fire. I mean, I could play that every show for the rest of the year. That is fire right there. Premeditated. A coup. Oh, names name it.
Remix that. It's a song, right?
What's that?
It's Hillary. It's Clapper. It's Comey. It's I mean, he had a rhythm going, man. I could see somebody doing a remix to that for sure.
Oh yeah, I could too. There's a Placeboing. Is a channel on YouTube that Placeboing. He does a lot of those really good ones. Yeah, he could run with that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because that's good. That's got rhythm and everything already built in.
It does. God, I love to hear that though, don't you? Doesn't that just make your day?
Yeah, I think we just need to keep saying it over and over again. I mean, that's what Joe Scarborough was saying. We got to stop talking about it. He said, "No, we'll talk more about it, and we'll be louder about it." So we'll never. In fact, after everybody's been arrested, indicted, and convicted, we'll still be talking about it because we don't want it to repeat.
Exactly. You know, you might not like history, but you can't rewrite it. It belongs to everyone, and the best we can do is learn from it. And so, for all these people trying to erase history out there, no, you just got to celebrate it, look at it, and take away the lessons that need to be taken away from history. Oh, you can't rewrite it, man.
No, you sure can't.
I mean, that's right out of 1984. George Orwell said,
I mean, they want all that stuff, so they can go right back to doing it again. It's really quite simple.
You get rid of the history, you rename all the roads, you tear down the statues, you replace them with bland, ugly, modern art, and you therefore destroy the culture. You change the meaning of words. You talked about that, how the importance of changing the meaning of words. And boy, have we seen the left trying to change the meaning of words. Just as hard as you can. What is a woman? We have a Supreme Court justice who doesn't know the answer to that because she's not a biologist. But yet she's up there fighting for women's rights on the Supreme Court.
Well, when you look at the grand scheme of everything, now it makes a lot of sense as to why they want to dumb and numb everybody down and then just pile on distraction upon distraction so that we never can be any good and never be any resistance to the evil that's basically been encroaching on this world, you know, for decades now. But people are waking up because we're in the middle of a great awakening.
And on that note, that's a perfect note to take out the show. Folks, thank you so much for listening. We're going to wrap up here, but stay tuned. There's much more from DREAGUS Productions coming up on this channel right after this message.
All right, great job, guys. I will get this up and out like I always do. Did you say right
after this mess?
Guys did a good job. Yep, thank you. And in a couple minutes here, I'm going to get Jack up and rolling. And once I do, we're going to get his show going. Stay tuned,
Thanks for everyone listening out there.
Yeah, stay tuned for Jack Carey with the Paranormal Intelligence Agency coming up next. Who knows what Jack will be talking about?
And a special thanks to our guest star,
George Soros.
Thank you, George, for joining us.
Nancy said that she may not be able to make it in. I'm not sure if she is or isn't, but if she can't, you guys are all welcome to come in and help me out later on tonight. If she does come in, she's got storms rolling through her area, so she could be cut off any time. I'm going to get Jack up and rolling. So you guys take care, and I will catch up with you next time.
Got it. All right. See ya.
All right. Let me call.
All righty then, man.
All righty then.
Let me get Jack Carey up and rolling here. That was the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, folks. We will continue on in the stream, if you're still listening and with us, with Jack Carey. Let me get Jack up and rolling here. Do. Jack Carey. I'm not sure if David... Nope, David's not going to be coming in. Oh, yeah, maybe. Hey, Jack. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Cool.
Been a good night.
Well,
So
good.
far, so
that
good. Yeah.
That was the last show.
John and Barry did a great job, and we had a good show. So, yeah, I'm just setting you up, getting you ready. You should be good to go until like the 57 mark before I have to take in clear you out of
the
yeah,
row.
or chat stops. So if you want to end at like the 55 or 56 minute, that'd be kind of perfect.
Yeah, I always try to land it right at 55. So
Yeah.
that'll be good.
We got Sonia, the Captain Howdy, Roger in the Kick Chat, bunch of other folks in there as well. And, appreciate each and every one of you, no matter what platform you're on. DK on YouTube and also over on D Live. And I believe Roger and DK are also restreaming us.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to come in with me for a little bit if Nancy falters with her connection?
Oh, I texted you that. Yeah, I'll try to. I've got to grab some food. I have not eaten all day.
That's fine.
So.
I'm going to do what I can do too to get a show going for her, even if she kind of cuts out. Jason's supposed to come in with us for a little while. He might come in for the whole show, I'm hoping. Appreciate that if he does. Jason, if you're out there, we're counting on you tonight, buddy. Yeah, he'll probably be listening to us from D Live, and not sure if he's going to restream or not. He's pretty good about stuff like that too.
Interesting.
Okay, we got 30 seconds. What do you got in the for the show tonight?
Well, we're gonna have a two-part show. Really, we're gonna be picking up where we left off last week on 3-Eye Atlas, as they're calling this.
Yeah, a lot of folks are really interested in that. And do you have anything for our crypto?
A cryptid corner we're going to be talking about because it kind of fits into tonight's discussion. Early Mothman sightings.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, and you are live right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live. We are broadcasting from 300 feet down in an abandoned nuclear missile silo somewhere deep in the post-apocalyptic wastelands of the Dakota Territories. And as always, I'm joined by the paranormal crime fighting duo Daisy and the Sundance Kid, working security tonight. And, it was just this morning. We were in the war wagon on our way to Bartertown for supplies. They were Daisy and the Sundance Kid sitting shotgun, and we had an official sighting of the Slender Man. He was radioactive, he was glowing, and looking to drop the keto diet. And tonight's story, tonight's main topic, we're going to kind of pick up where we left off last week. Long, it has been a nonstop, in my world anyway, a nonstop information flow in the old event stream on the Great Space Roller Coaster, and that information flow has to do with 3I Atlas. That's right, that's the interesting name given to the incoming alien craft I discussed last week. That's why this is going to be a two-part show. And there's a reason why it's two-part, and a lot of that reason has to do with cyber prophecy, has to do with the webbot and what the webbot spit out this week. It was chugging and groaning and spitting out some smoke. A couple of springs probably popped out of it, but it had some interesting things to relay, and Cliff I, the inventor of the webbot, has now moved into a compound for security reasons, and there are some good reasons for that. A lot of it has to do with violent stalkers, believe it or not. So Cliff actually has a compound now, which is away from the coast, and so the webbot is safe from any incoming tsunami type of activity, and it's been picking up hordes of conversation levels on very heightened emotional levels dealing with 3I Atlas, and the webbot is kind of painting all of this in a different light, a different perspective, and that ties in with what I was going to also discuss last week, which was reality hacks. How do you hack the Matrix? Can the Matrix be hacked? I believe it can indeed, and we're going to be talking about that tonight because that ties into all of this. It's amazing how these so-called theoretical puzzle pieces, when they're examined in totality, begin to present a whole that is really beginning to make a lot of sense. The math is beginning to add up, and we're beginning to see things in a whole new light, aided with webbot and its cyber predictions for our immediate future in the event stream. So we're going to be talking about psionics. We're going to be talking about how it's very quite possible that the human species has, with its interaction with the universal reality matrix, sort of manifested the event that's about to take place with this craft and the changes that it may portend for humanity. And all of this really ties in well with our paranormal in the news this week, which really came to us in the form of Knapp and Corbell and Coulthard, Ross Coulthard, George Knapp, and Jeremy Corbell again have released some very interesting information. The guys over at the UAP registry, which I'll mention them again, they're doing good work with the FOIA request. They're actually somehow financially able to employ lawyers or getting lawyers to work pro bono, etc., to sue different departments for documents, and they're getting some interesting little golden nuggets. One of those golden nuggets is an apparent UAP interaction that was completely recorded by the military. This occurred in Avon Park, Florida, so somewhere in the middle part of Florida. There were numerous eyewitnesses. Apparently, this base in the middle part of Florida there is known for its drone technology. It has drone wings there, and pilots and all of that kind of stuff. And these soldiers were out in the field deploying drone technology when they noticed a quite large cigar-shaped golden cylinder sitting in the sky. And it sat there for long enough. Apparently, they were able to record it and all of that. And then it just blinked out of existence. And there again, I think, is an indication about what we're going to be talking about tonight. This idea that the reality matrix is malleable, that there are ways of hacking that matrix that some intelligent life forms may have discovered, and probably without a doubt have discovered. And, the WebBot is predicting a time when we have a kind of a singularity of understanding with this alien consciousness, and that'll be part of our cyber prophecy. But paranormal in the news. So Coulthard had Michael Herrera on a deep dive interview, and it's really important to do these deep dive interviews because you can extract detail out of an eyewitness in a way that you can't do otherwise. And Herrera makes it clear, and I have to remind everybody that the Congress is having a major UAP hearing in September. They are calling forward firsthand eyewitnesses. These are the people in the programs. These are the people that have stood next to the craft, etc. Aided by the whistleblower David Grush, who is working for various congressmen to round up these witnesses and get them to testify. And all of that is sort of the backdrop for this past week and what's going on. Herrera is one of those firsthand witnesses, and his testimony is that he was a Marine. He was selected for security duty on a landing zone somewhere in Indonesia. They were out of our base in the Philippines. This was a normal, everyday kind of operation. And their duty was to get to the landing zone prior to the helicopter landing so that they could secure the area so this thing could drop off supplies to, who knows, a rebel group of some kind. And Indonesia has tons of, it's like one of the major terrorist, place hotspots around the world. So having security in a landing zone where you're dropping off supplies maybe to a rebel group of some kind is completely feasible. His story, in my mind, adds up. And so he goes to the location with the group of soldiers that were meant to be the security detail for this landing zone, and off in the distance, a few hundred meters, he describes it as being, as they could see something in the trees, through the trees of the jungle that looked like, to them at the time, a building or they couldn't, it was a structure of some kind. It's all they could identify. They thought, well, possible threat. We have to go check it out. The leader of the group of soldiers ordered them to go check it out. And as they got closer to the object, they entered into a clearing and got the shock of their life, because right before them was a craft that was hexagonal in shape. It was rotating slowly, and it was hovering off the ground without any sound whatsoever. Beneath the craft was a flat platform, not something ever reported before by a UFO eyewitness. Not that I can recall, in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases. This is unique in ufology, what they eyewitnessed. As they came into the clearing, immediately on all sides of them, they are basically jumped by special operators wearing black camouflage with no insignia, black ball caps with no insignia, and clearly having American accents. So these were American related. They disarmed the Marines, they took their IDs, and they bioprinted each one of them. They threatened that they would kill them if they ever spoke about what they had witnessed. And out of the corner of his eye, Michael Herrera sees 4 trucks enter the scene. He describes them as being Ford F-350-like trucks, but completely blacked out with no insignia on them. And being towed behind them are these container, like shipping containers that are about half that size, but look like a shipping container. And on top of the shipping containers are HVAC systems. So there's something living inside, right? And these trucks pull up and drop off these shipping containers with HVAC systems onto a flat platform that then begins to hover up into the bottom of the craft with no visible signs of being connected to it whatsoever. The special operators back up and disappear into the jungle, leaving the Marines completely bewildered, and the craft actually was described by Herrera as elevating a certain amount into air with no sound whatsoever and shooting off at phenomenal speeds, thousands of miles per hour instantaneously. Few interesting notes about all of his testimony. A, he claims that this thing had grooves, it had rivets, it had panels, it had all the indications of something manufactured by humans. Let that sink in. Although it seemed advanced, the fabric of the craft appeared to kind of fluctuate between a deep gray and a black. So black, he said you could almost shine a laser into it maybe, and it wouldn't even reflect. It was that black. And that there were 5 lights on the craft, apparently on different corners of the craft. So that's interesting. And that this thing took off at such a phenomenal speed that he doubted anybody could survive inside that kind of a G-force. So it must be talking about something that can create its own gravity bubble, which is something Bob Lazar and others have talked about within back-engineered alien craft. He did have a camera in his pocket and was able to snap apparent photographs of this craft before these guys in black came out of the jungle, and he was able to hide it so that they didn't get the camera. And this is where things get interesting. So they pick up their weapons. The guys had taken all of their clips and dropped them on the ground and kicked them off in the bushes. They collected all their clips, got all their stuff together, and hightailed it back to their camp. And they didn't say a word to anybody. This was 5 Marines. They thought that they were just going to be laughed and joked at. They didn't say anything to the commanding officer or anything. And it psychologically did a lot of damage to all of them. Herrera has the camera in his possession, though. He's like, I got some evidence. I have proof here. He leaves it locked in his locker on the ship. He comes back to find that his locker doesn't apparently have anything missing from it. Nothing. The lock is still on it. All the items are still there, but the camera has been taken out, placed on his bunk, and the battery and the memory card removed from it. So the insinuation is that whoever was controlling these guys on the ground had to be U.S. military. Period. Now comes in the testimony of Jake Barber in all of this, because Jake Barber is the other major whistleblower who picked up and had video proof of picking up an egg-shaped UFO and flying it off with his military helicopter to an undisclosed location. And Jake Barber claims that in his service, he learned that there were so-called psionic assets being controlled and operated by and employed by intelligence services here in the United States. And many of these psionic assets are foreign in nature. And that these people are all people of a heightened spiritual nature, that they have heightened psychic abilities, which are now referred to widely in government circles as psionic abilities. And it is these people who have a ability to interact with UFO craft in such a way that they are useful to the United States military. Now, Barber believes that because he picked up a number of these shipping containers that had HVAC units on top of them, you know, air conditioning units on top of them, and he was told that inside are psionic assets, that there are psychic individuals inside these little trailers that they keep in a sort of comfortable and meditative like state to be able to do what it is they do. And they keep them in these things so that they don't even see the craft that they're being transported in. That's fascinating. Little glimpses here and there of what's going on. But what's fascinating is that this all ties into what the Webbot was getting at today and this week, in that reality doesn't work the way most humans think that it works. Reality is an unfolding event stream that apparently can be hacked. In other words, there are secrets being employed by various groups around the world who are, I believe, in war with one another. I call it the Great and Secret War in my book, American Sorcerer. And we're going to talk about the secrets that these groups possess. We're going to talk about how at the heart of all of those secrets is this greatest of all secrets, that lying within the human body, human physiology, is the ability for us to actually manifest reality, manifest events within our own event stream in such a way that we can literally control our own destiny. Think about that. Because all of this ties into this idea that the Webbot has, that we collectively as a species have manifested this event about to take place within our event stream. In other words, it's making it clear that the observer of the materium is in some way connected to and partaking in that materium in such a way that we are actually manifesting events without even knowing it. That ties into a lot of the secrets that these groups around the world have and their desire to use these secrets in order to control the collective subconscious. A lot of people refer to that as performing or achieving the great work. You might hear that once in a while. A lot of the words that I'll be using to describe these secrets and techniques of how to hack the reality matrix and what they teach in their groups, and how this and why this is important to this upcoming event. I'll use some archaic terms, but that's okay, because in my 30 years of investigating occult groups and their techniques and their secrets, it's become clear that at the heart of all of them is a singular mechanism. And that singular mechanism was even written about in a widely published and publicly accepted book called The Secret, which is this idea that you can sort of magnetize your living essence in such a way that you can harmonize with the universe and create events to take place in your life which are beneficial to you, right? Well, what if I told you guys that in the 1400s, a couple of occultists got their hands on a system that today is referred to as Enochian magic, but at its heart is an alphabet, a geometrically constructed alphabet that appears to have the ability for those that know how to use it. And let me clearly state that a lot of groups that use it are using it in an experimental basis with different kinds of results. But those that have utilized it and published about it have every indication that what they have tapped into is a type of source code. Imagine way back in the 1400s